Devondre Campbell on Bijan Robinson. Preston Smith on Devontae Adams. What will be your lasting memory of Joe Barry as Packers defensive coordinator? Another day in Wisconsin sports. Doc Rivers to the Bucks. Joe Barry relieved of his duties. A lot to get to. Kyle Bruston-Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. We are presented by the official beer of the NFL, Bud Light. 800-990-3776. Again, 800-990-ESPN. Streaming on YouTube, as always, on ESPN Milwaukee's and ESPN Madison's YouTube platforms. And we have a preemptive poll up on Twitter at KBN ESPN. But I have to start where we have to go to when it comes to the Green Bay Packers. Our Packer backer, Kyle Wallace. How are you feeling in the news of Joe Barry?
Man,
now,
oh man.
Don't celebrate on his grave.
No,
though.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not celebrating him being fired. I'm celebrating my organization, my Green Bay Packers, looking to better themselves. That's what it should be about, is how you can get better. And when I look at what happened yesterday with the Milwaukee Bucks, what did my Bucks decide? They decided that Adrian Griffin wasn't good enough, and he was not at a championship caliber. He was not where the bar needs to be set. So what did they do? They moved on to get somebody else. The Green Bay Packers, they heeded the same type of energy that they saw the Bucks do. Matter of fact, Matt LaFleur was inspired by what he saw the Milwaukee Bucks do. And he said, why the heck am I waiting? Let me go ahead and make this decision and make the change to get rid of Joe Barry. So I am glad the Bucks could inspire the Green Bay Packers to make a decision to get rid of Joe Barry, because average is not good enough. The standard needs to be higher than that. Our defense was bad. It was not good whatsoever. It made a lot of people stressed. It made a lot of people upset. Ben just went through all those different moments that we have, and he didn't even go
There's
through
more.
Yeah, you went through literally 1/10 of them. Like, for real. There's maybe not 100th of them, 1,000th of them. I can't go. That's how far my math goes. But it was time for this to happen, and I'm excited that this has happened, because this is an attractive job. This is an opportunity for the Packers to upgrade to be better. Again, the theme is, if you are not good enough, you need to move on. So we need to move on from Joe Barry.
Why do you believe that this is an attractive job now versus after a number 1 seed in 2020 that lost to the Buccaneers?
To me, it's definitely a more attractive job because of what this team can be. When you look at windows, championship windows, everybody around the league knew that Jordan Love was on that roster. Everybody in the league knew they didn't know what the future was. The future was so murky for the Green Bay Packers. Even Devontae Adams says, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen in the future. Y'all haven't prioritized me. Let me get the heck up out of here. And then fast forward, he talked about how good Jordan Love looking. He the man. And so overall, when you look at this team now, you look at this young offense, you know the Super Bowl window for the Green Bay Packers officially opened once they beat the Dallas Cowboys. They now have a window to win championships. If a defensive coordinator believes in himself, believes in his scheme, believes in what he can bring to a team, then he knows that he can get the best out of these players. Then he can mirror a really good offense that's budding and starting to get better with a defense that they believe they can coach. You put that together, you have a championship organization. This is a very attractive job based off the pieces that you have defensively and the offense that we're going to have in the future here.
800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Your lasting memory of Joe Barry or your initial reactions. David chimes in on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. 1 out of 10,000 of them, Kyle? Take your math deeper.
One
out of a million.
1 million?
Yeah. Brad Nortman, former NFL punter, been in locker rooms, been through situations in season, out of season. How are you feeling about the news?
Well, the moment I will never be able to get out of my head is Tommy DeVito and like the Italian, hand signal. Like, I will never, on national television, I will never be able to forget that. But when I saw the news this morning, I got to say, I just wasn't surprised. When I saw it, it didn't elicit an excited reaction out of me, because what the Packers did is they had a problem, and that was poor defensive play. They took the first step into solving that problem, and it's actually the easiest step. The easiest step is firing Joe Barry. So check, they have done that. The hardest step is up next. So I'm not going to be particularly excited until I see exactly who Matt LaFleur hires to be the next defensive coordinator, because to your point, Kyle, I do think this has become at least a semi-favorable location that the Packers defense is, because you're walking into a situation with a loyal head coach, right? You know that Matt LaFleur has the coach's backs and the players' back, and he will be patient with you to get some things done. And what's proved by the end of the year is that this should be a Super Bowl contending team for a long period of time. And let's be honest, defensive expectations for this franchise are pretty low. So it's a pretty low hurdle to get over to be able to implement at least even an average defense. That would even be celebrated, an average defense. So when I saw it, I was like, okay, that's the first step, but the hardest step is next up. And a quick little tidbit, shout out to Alex Gravatt, ESPN Madison teammate. He and I were talking earlier. He said he heard a stat where basically almost every time a defensive coordinator is changed for an NFL team, almost always the defense the next year takes a step back.
Well, that's not a stat. That's made. Where's the evidence? Like, what's the records of the team?
They drop.
You're our stats guy.
They drop in both yards and points.
Here's the thing.
Generally speaking, it takes a minute.
Generally speaking,
I didn't have time to go into the
official.
details. I'm taking Alex Gravatt.
No,
he went deep into it.
You are smart. You worked in finance. You crunched numbers. You're our Brad Nerdman.
He was tight on time.
That's true.
Yeah. Text him back. Tell him to go to the lab and get actual data to support the claim.
Man has a whole job to do. I don't know if he can't just get him to.
He usually runs the board when we're on the show in Madison.
He's here today, so he must be here for a reason.
Trust me, he can make time.
The thesis of it, though,
he's probably out there eating lunch with everybody still.
Oh, okay.
The thesis of it is, it's not going to be easy for the new D coordinator to turn things around quickly. That's the caveat, quickly. So that's why I'm curious to see who it is, what the scheme is. I guarantee you, I've been in situations where coaches were fired. All the players right now, they're texting one another. They're saying, who do you like? Who's your guy? What type of scheme should we bring in? The players have their head on a swivel right now. And the minute somebody gets signed, there are some players that are going to go, I don't fit this scheme. I don't know what that means for me. A time of upheaval is coming for the Packers defense. That's both on the personnel side and on the coaching side.
I don't like Brady Downer.
No, it's just reality.
It's what he does.
Bradley the Downer.
It's reality.
Right
Packer backer, and so here's what I've noticed. Right, the 1 week that you wanted to call yourself Mr. Realistic, right, was the week that I was shocked that you were trying to be overly realistic. Brad, I think, is more Mr. Realistic because even when we try and row everyone in the same direction, Brad would be like, "Well, I'm just trying to keep you guys prepared when no one's asking for it."
The defense, man. No, listen, this defense is bad. There's not much regressing this defense can do. Because if you take away the last couple of weeks, which you cannot, I know the defense finished 17 as total defense, but they worked themselves up at the end of the season to get to total defense for that. The defense has a lot of room to grow. They have a lot of room to grow. And, I mean, honestly, I can just see them having a repeat performance versus actually going down and being worse. I don't see that happening.
The expectations are low for sure. It's just hard to turn things around quickly, generally speaking, in the NFL. That's why I'm waiting to see who they hire. This is going to be a huge decision for Matt LaFleur. I'm curious who they hire next. It's like you've broken up with your girlfriend. Okay, she wasn't the right one. You move on. The hardest part is next, finding out who your next one's going to be. So it's a bit harder.
Maybe for you.
Finding the right one, Ben. There's only one Mrs. Norman out there.
Ben used to have them lined.
Very good.
You walked into that.
Had a Rolodex of women.
800-990-3776. Joe Barry out as defensive coordinator. Something that Brad said that sparked my mind as to, as I asked Kyle, I was like, why is this a destination that people want to go to? Well, I'll tell you what. You guys each kind of hit at some things here. Maybe you didn't hit on this one. Loyalty from Matt LaFleur? I mean, that's maybe a fault of his, but great if you're taking the job, man. He fell on the sword for Joe Barry a ton. How about the fact that you have a general manager that loves drafting talent on the defensive side of the football in the first round? Has not gone away from it other than Jordan Love, right? Even with Van Ness. So I don't expect that to change in terms of philosophy. And plus, especially as you have proven that the last two draft classes, you've been able to get guys that have made an immediate impact on the offensive side of the football. You got to figure out how to continue to take stabs at it to get guys to make the immediate impact on the defensive side of the football. And Goody, just as a record, should be banned from drafting anyone on special teams.
Yeah, that's probably true, too.
I mean, unless his name is the Iowa punter, and we know what the Iowa punter did against Wisconsin.
No. Packers are so bad at special teams, not even the Iowa punter, who was amazing in front of all of the nations.
He beat the Badgers.
Put the team on his back.
Yes.
Rich Bisaccia collecting checks will find a way to mess that up as well. But to your point, again, what I'm going with this is you're going to have an investment in that defense, hopefully with free agency money that is available as well, draft capital, and the loyalty of Matt LaFleur. I mean, that's a pretty good reason to maybe be like, I should look at trying to help this team that has an ascending offense. If I can make them a top 10 to top 15 defense, that's all I got to do. And people will be happy on a consistent level.
That's exactly what it is.
In a lot of organizations you go into, there's maybe a higher standard where, hey, the defense has got to be top 10 if we're going to make the playoffs. That's not the situation in Green Bay. You've got no matter what you think of Matt LaFleur, the head coach, he's a great bar low. I'm just saying, he's a great scheme expert, right, when it comes to the offense. The offense side of the ball taken care of, right? So all you need to do is be average. That's what I'm saying. If you are average in 2 years, that's a step forward. Now you want better. I'm not saying this is not second place. This is not second place Brad.
Bradley Nortman.
Saying, no, this is not second place Brad saying you can accept
second place Brad.
But that would be an improvement, wouldn't it?
The standard is
average
set.
would be better than what they're doing right now, right?
The standard has been set. Stop doing that.
Who set the standard?
This is what Wisconsin
sports.
Yeah,
I actually want to know what standard has been set.
Let me just tell you, Wisconsin sports in the last year and a half has decided we are going to set a standard for excellence. That standard for excellence, if it's not met, you got to go. Paul Chris got fired because he didn't meet the standard. He got to go. Coach Bud from the Bucks got fired because we didn't meet the standard. He got to go. Adrian Griffin, after 43 games with the Milwaukee Bucks in his first year as a coach, he didn't meet the standard. He got to go.
What's the Packers'
Aaron Rodgers wasn't meeting the standard. He got to go.
What's the Packers' defensive standard?
The Packers' defensive standard is going to start anew. And it's going to be top 10 defense moving forward.
This is the brain of Kyle Wallace. I spend all week before the San Francisco 49ers game trying to convince him that the ghost of Rodgers against the Niners, the ghost of Favre against the Cowboys isn't what Jordan Love is. And finally he believes when it's too late. And now all of a sudden he's trying to believe that the past is now just going to disappear. Now you decide that the new standard is going to be set.
Listen.
Now, JB chimes in from the 608.
What do you say?
Yay, top 15. Shoot for mediocrity, Benny. Well, first off, I said top 10 to top 15, and that would be a step forward from a consistent level.
I'm not saying stay there.
Yeah, exactly.
But that would be a movement in the right direction.
Especially when you have an offense that if you do believe is going to be a top 10 offense, you don't need. I mean, you obviously want to have a top five on both sides of the football. But you can't ask for the moon when you have to have.
How quickly, that's what I'm hiring you for.
How quickly do you expect the defensive coordinator to get this team top 10?
I think by 3 years. By year 3,
that's fair.
The defense should be rolling. Next year, next couple years. When you hire the right guy, you see a jump. Then the second year, you say, oh, yeah, this defense is good. And next thing you know, the defense mirrors the offense. You have two complementary offense and defensive sides of the ball. And hopefully Rich Bisaccia is probably gone by that time. And we're better at special teams. I'm telling you this right now. This is the start of something special. Matt LaFleur ain't playing with y'all right now. He not playing with people no more. If you are not going to be up to the standard that he set, you got to get your walking papers. And it started with his boy Joe Barry. He wasn't ready to do it last year, but now he was blind, right? He was blinded by Aaron Rodgers, but Love has allowed him to see clearly. And the future looks very, very good with Jordan Love, and he'll be danged if he lets a defensive coordinator bring down this team.
It's funny because usually Love is more blinding. You get caught up in that.
Well, it's poetic right there.
Yeah. Now, 800-990-3776, the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line on YouTube at ESPN Madison, at ESPN Milwaukee. I do want to move to your Joe Barry memory, right? Like, what is the lasting moment that you will always remember Joe Barry for? We mentioned it might be a million examples, but what's the one that stands out to you? 800-990-3776. What will you miss about Joe Barry? Just kidding. What is your lasting memory about Joe Barry on this team? 800-990-ESPN. We hear from you, KBN Nation, coming up next.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Hey, Russell, this is Brad. Awesome. I had nothing before them. I had nothing before them.
Hey, Russell, this is Brad.
Hey, Russ, what up, Russ?
Awesome. And I'm going to read this word for word.
Yeah,
That's who I am.
All right, let's give him the floor. I'm going to try and
Yeah, don't interrupt, dang it.
Presented by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Football Guy.
What the hell happened to Bucky on your hat?
Football Guy.
A lot of wear and tear for old B.
Coming at it from different views.
I'm just saying he's well worn. I mean, his face is missing. Okay, well, it's probably time for me to freshen that up. Bucky wants to flip you off right now.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by Coors Light. Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, Southeastern Wisconsin's beer, liquor, and wine headquarters. For over 60 years, 7 different decades, all as a local family-owned business. Discount Liquor has a selection with over 14,000 varieties of beer, liquor, and wine in stock, along with everyday low prices, expert service, and convenience with 2 locations. But don't just take my word for it. Let's check out some online reviews. Robert wrote, "There's not a better liquor store around. Nobody even comes close to their beer selection. The only issue? I get brain overload because there are so many choices." And Aubrey recalled, "I went in looking for a very specific and rare dessert wine. They not only knew of it, but special ordered it and called us when it was available for pickup. Just can't beat their service." Thanks, Robert and Aubrey, for your kind words and patronage. Discount Liquor in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow.
ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Brust here because Forward Healthy Lifestyles has shown me that getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. We used to think getting older meant having less energy, less muscle, less endurance, less sex, and perhaps a bit more joint pain and weight around that waist. Not anymore. The experts at Forward Healthy Lifestyles help men optimize their hormone levels, including testosterone, providing cutting-edge regenerative medicine therapies, and even help men lose stubborn weight with programs like semaglutide. In 2024, change your life. Visit forwardhealthylifestyles.com for a free consultation.
Hey, it's Gary Olson here for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking for that midday escape? Or maybe you want to impress a client? No matter the season, rain, snow, or shine, Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is open for you. A top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play legendary courses. Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center simulators, entertainment, and best Bloody Marys make it feel like summer all year round. Just $35 an hour gets you a round and puts that summer feel back in your life. Book your bay at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Ashton Rotman with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Brookfield Central's Jack Doherty. The senior basketball player, a huge performance last week in a 92-57 win over West Alice Hale. He set a school record with 11 three-pointers on just 13 shots in the game. He finished with 44 points and 11 rebounds. It's been a solid season offensively on the stat sheet for the Illinois State commit Doherty. However, the Lancers have been right around 500 for most of the season. This week, games against Marquette University and Kimberly will take place for Brookfield Central as they look to get back to their winning ways. Congratulations again to Brookfield Central's Jack Doherty on being this week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, and good luck the rest of the season.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace for the Bath Authority. If your bath or shower is old, outdated, has mold and mildew, or broken tiles, you gotta call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. Elevate your bathroom to a new level of luxury, style, and safety. Schedule your free in-home estimate today and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
To Joe Barry. Bye, bye, bye. It was a good run? Question mark?
It's some memories.
Kyle, it was a good run?
Absolutely not.
I mean, we can say in totality it wasn't meant to be, but he had a good run his last 4 or 5 games.
Absolutely wrong. I don't remember saying Mike Pettin's name this much, and I know Mike Pettin had some frustrations with me, but
I actually thought Pettin wasn't nearly as bad as Joe.
No, I don't recall having.
He was the scapegoat for the offense not scoring on 3 turnovers in the second half, in my opinion.
It was a mistake firing him.
Isn't it weird, though, how Joe Barry's defense tended to perform, like, decent in big games and terrible in, like, the games that you think would be lollipops?
Yeah.
It was so weird.
It's backwards. Like,
you would think the other way around.
I guess maybe with the way the roster... I'm taking stabs, but like the way the roster was constructed, maybe they like playing in the big games, and he didn't do a great job preparing them for the quote unquote cakewalks that you look at the schedule and you're like, we're going to win there. But that's not okay regardless of whatever the reasons are. 800-990-3776. Let's go to Chris and Muskego as we're asking for you, giving us your lasting Joe Barry memory.
My lasting memory of Joe Barry would be season 1. Preston Smith, Kenny Clark, or Sean Gary going to him and saying, hey, you're not playing us right. Change it up, and they started to do better against the run. Year 2, Alexander, Douglas, go to him and say, you're not playing us right. You're not letting us be aggressive. He changes it. They start doing better against the pass defense. This year, he didn't know what the heck was going on. He had Douglas complaining, and Alexander, Douglas is gone, and you never see Jari play except for a few games. Was he injured, or was he doing a self-protest against Barry? He's good. I'm glad he's gone. It was time. They should have got rid of him last year. LaFleur screwed up. But he made the right move now. Now all he can all do is hope we get a defensive coordinator here who's got some experience, plays aggressive, doesn't play line of defensive backs 15 yards off the receiver when it's 3rd and short.
I mean, Chris, aggression. I will say you're doing a great job making the job description of what most people would be looking for. Not 15 yards off the line of scrimmage. I mean, that is kind of interesting to think about the way the players have responded to Joe Barry's scheme each year, like the involvement of Matt LaFleur. Like, if we're being honest, Matt LaFleur is a head coach and an offensive coordinator or offensive play caller, rather. You want to give autonomy to guys you trust in coaching positions. Never a good thing when you have to get overly involved. Obviously, you want to be involved in the total game plan, but it seemed like he had to go to Joe and be like, Joe, you can't just continue to do the same things over and over. And those were a lot of moments. There are a lot of moments, man. But if I'm being honest, the one that is the one that stands out most is Tommy DeVito, right? Like, I did tweet out the Devondre Campbell on Bijan Robinson. Sure, that's a bad moment. But in terms of a bad performance, an all-time bad performance is Tommy DeVito on the road. I believe him and Saquon rushed for 200 yards combined. He's running around like the seas parted for Moses. That was my lasting memory, is knowing that Tommy DeVito, a guy who was then benched for Tyrod Taylor, who's a journeyman quarterback, scorched the Green Bay Packers defense.
Well, it was so memorable, too, because it was off the heels of that Thanksgiving Detroit win and that big Sunday night football game against the Chiefs. I mean, even when they weren't running with DeVito and Saquon, guys were wide open. It's as if they didn't scheme at all, and this was a bad Giants team with a quarterback that was eventually going to get benched. So to me, that was the red flag in the final, like, okay, this is not right. Something about this defense is totally off. And the caller makes a great point, right? When all these veteran players are going to your D coordinator, and you're begging him to change the scheme, what that tells me is players don't trust the coach. A lot of times when the defense struggles, or if there's a coach-player situation, if they're struggling and the press is on you and the fans are on you, a lot of times the players will say something to the effect of, look, it's not Coach Barry's fault. It's our fault. We got to make plays. You didn't hear that at all. That's how you know they were not bought into a system. They felt like they weren't being put in the right place. That's why I hope that these players have a lot of optimism with a new guy coming in, because I'm telling you what, these players are going to have their head on a swivel. They're going to be concerned that they don't fit the new scheme, that they're not the guy for the new defensive coordinator. So I hope they bring that energy and that trust to the new defensive coordinator, because they certainly did not have that with Joe Barry.
Now, I brought this in as a conversation starter because I can see, I can't read his name because I don't know how to pronounce it on YouTube, says, Al Harris has to be in the conversation for next DC, right? Sure, he can be in the conversation, but I brought in his jersey. Go Al Harris. Now, the crazy part there is, his team didn't do very well as a defensive backs coach against Jordan Love, who was slicing and dicing. But do you put that more on Dan Quinn? That's for another conversation. I'm open to bringing in a guy like that who, overall has been known as an up-and-comer, but this isn't something that you want to, what we have to learn from recent history, right? What did the Milwaukee Bucks do? Brought in a guy with not a lot of experience. Now, you have to decide as a fan, do you want an up-and-comer or do you want a proven commodity? what is that sort of like mix and match for you?
I mean, it all varies based off who it is, right? I know a lot of people want Jimmy Leonard. I think Jimmy Leonard is a proven commodity in college football, and based off his pretty decent career and long career that he had in the NFL, I think Jimmy Leonard can make the great transition to the NFL. But then on top of that, I think getting somebody with experience will be essential as well. Somebody who understands how to build an identity of a defense. That's what I want. I want a guy that can come in here and get this team and galvanize this team together and have an absolute identity for this team, because I don't want to have to be sitting here watching all these other issues and all these terrible moments I had to witness. I don't want to hear my coach talk about how the defense got gashed.
Oh yeah, they did use a lot of adjectives.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that type of terms. I don't want to have to watch Justin Jefferson go for 158 and 2 touchdowns to hear my corners complain. I don't want to have to look up and see my team allowing 4 200-yard rushing games in one season, which at the time was double than what any other franchise has done in the current season last year. And I don't want to see Danny DeVito, Tommy DeVito, or any other DeVito doing machismo, all this on my TV screen no more. That's what I want. Those are the moments that I remember from Joe Barry, and they were not the best moments, and that's why it was time to move on. But it's so many unmemorable moments that we had as Packers fans, stressful moments that we had as Packers fans because of Joe Barry. The list can go on and on and on. What's that song? On and on and on. Yeah.
Yeah. Stranger.
Yeah. Listen, I stopped believing. I had to stop believing in Joe Barry.
Yeah, it's not a fitting song for Joe Barry.
His journey has ended here.
Don't stop believing.
Matt LaFleur, don't stop believing in my best friend that I'm keeping around. Now you did turn Black Italian for a little bit though. You did enjoy the DeVito performance.
I do like doing the.
It is kind of fun.
It's fun. I enjoy the fun, and plus my Packers were able to rebound from that, and it didn't impact them from getting to the playoffs, and they still built on this season. So that is now history. But I will not forget the defensive coordinator that allowed that to happen, allowed Tommy DeVito to turn into a superstar all for a week.
Chef Ed chimes in, I'll always remember his defense trying to protect a lead. Now, that is a good way to put it, right? Because not just a moment. That's the moments thing, the performances thing, the plural. Those are lasting memories because you can think of a lot of them where you went up and had to give a lot back. Now, Dave from Aaron chimes in, says he wants to have Van Ness watch Reggie White clips all season. Look, I watched a lot of Steph Curry and Michael Jordan. I'm sitting here right now. Good luck to Lucas.
That was funny.
I think Lucas has a little better opportunity than you. He actually gets to.
Yo! Come on, man.
He made it, man.
I know I didn't. You were supposed to just pump me up for a second after I ripped myself.
Yeah, no. You're not going to take my guy Van Ness down. This is a good day.
All right, Packer backer Kyle Wallace in full effect.
It's a good point, though, as far as protecting a lead, because something that we were quoting earlier in the show was 5 fourth-quarter leads given up by this Packer defense, and they weren't even good teams, right? It was Atlanta and Denver and the Raiders and Pittsburgh and the New York Giants. I mean, those are not good offenses that you're just going to let bring back a fourth-quarter lead. So, look, there were moments where I was actually impressed with the defense in big games. They never like won you a ball game, but they kept you in them in the big moments. But there's just too many consistencies. I mean, too many times you watch it on Sunday night and be like, are any of these guys inspired to play? And does anybody know what they're doing? I mean, those are the two things, right? Mentality you're setting and like an identity plus good scheming to where like you have good matchups. I feel like that you never quite had those with Joe Barry.
800-990-3776. Chris, can we get a poll up on KBN ESPN? Who is under more pressure to perform? The Packers' next defensive coordinator or Doc Rivers? Doc Rivers, the new head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks, and the defensive coordinator, insert name, is going to have pressure. I'm curious as to what KBN Nation thinks. 800-990-ESPN. Who's under more pressure, Doc Rivers or Matt LaFleur's next hire at DC? All that and more. Kyle Bruston-Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Kyle Bruston-Nortman, KBN, presented by Bud Light.
The fact that I, within a month and a half, would have an opportunity to have Sierra thinking about me, oh, my goodness. I signed up to be with y'all, but I will happily be with Sierra.
All right, take it easy. Put it in the pants. Put it in the pants.
Stop it. Not that type of happy.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Hey,
Hey, it's Jason Wilding for Associated Bank. Here in Wisconsin, we love our sports year-round, right down to the Packers games in the Lambeau snow. If you want to show your love for the green and gold every day, you got it with Associated Bank's exclusive Packers checking account. A one-of-a-kind debit card, a 10% discount at the Packers Pro Shop, plus everything you'll score as an Associated Bank customer. Best of all, you'll get a banking partner based right here in the Midwest. Visit AssociatedBank.com/Packers to get started today. You've got this with Associated Bank. Member FDIC.
Winter would be pretty bleak without my friends at Fleet Farm. They're my one-stop shop for everything ice fishing. My boots, bibs, augers, scoopers, rods, reels. I mean, Fleet Farm's got all the best ice fishing gear. Hook, line, and sinker. And duct tape, too, if you need it. You'll always need it. Take it from me, John Gillespie. Fleet Farm's got everything you need to gear up for a great year on the ice.
Protect your dream home with American Family Insurance. And you can weather any storm. You'll also save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote. Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my favorite go-to drink. That's Carbless. Carbless is a ready-to-drink, handcrafted vodka and tequila cocktail. Even better, it's 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten, and just 100 calories. And listen to this, less carbonation. This leads to less bloat. I can indulge in something delicious without having that health guilt. Carbless is crafted right here in Wisconsin. It has a flavor for everyone, from black raspberry to cranberry, pineapple and lemon, and my favorite, margarita. Find Carbless online and at a retailer near you. Less is more.
Wisconsin is still cattle country. And that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top-quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Bunzels.com.
Hey, it's Kyle Walsh for Universal Windows Direct. If you've been cold in your own home, do not suffer through one more winter in a cold and drafty home. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. Schedule your free in-home estimate today, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free. Plus, a free upgrade to triple pane glass, and they'll double your energy tax credit. Tell them I told you to call and get an additional $250 off your project. Go to universalwindowsdirect.com, and you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, best-selling author and founder of the Neal Group. I have some questions for you. Who does your books? Hopefully not you. There are better things for you to do in running your business. Do you trust the numbers? Good numbers are critical for making good decisions. Are you getting the advice you need to minimize your taxes and put more money in your pocket? A good advisor makes suggestions to help your business grow and minimize taxes, not just put numbers on a form. Do your calls get returned and your questions answered? Many of our new clients tell us they love our quick response time. We have helped countless businesses increase their profits and lower stress. Get the advice you want and need to grow your business and minimize taxes. If you want to get started on the road to making more money and having less stress, visit nealgroup.net right now. That's NEAL group.net. The first meeting is free to see if we can help. Again, nealgroup.net.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the
Keep the faith, Wisconsin. Doc Rivers, new defensive coordinator for the Packers. Who are you going to not stop believing in? 800-990-3776 on Twitter X at KBN ESPN. Who is under more pressure to perform? New Bucs head coach Doc Rivers or the next Packers defensive coordinator? 50-50. Very early in the voting, but I mean, it's a tough question, and it kind of goes back to this championship mindset of like, which championship window is bigger, which one's more important in the now, and so I turn it over to the guys. So I want to find a new way to call Kyle a Packer backer for the Bucks and the Brewers and the Badgers, Badger backer, Bucks backer, Packer backer. You're just the backer.
I am the backer. I'm a Wisconsinite, and I love my sports teams. I am the true homer. I know we have Steve the Homer True, but I am the true homer.
Yeah, I mean, he's from Indiana.
The real homer.
I am the real homer. Please stand up.
There you are. Our guy, Kyle. Take that, Homer, who joins us at 4:45 today. Who's under more pressure?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's obvious. When you look at Matt LaFleur, I know Brad talked about it a little bit earlier. Matt LaFleur has what? Loyalty. So when he gets somebody in there, he's going to stand behind them, and he's going to have some type of patience. But then also, when Matt LaFleur hires this next defensive coordinator, he has to get this right. If this is Matt LaFleur's next guy and it doesn't work out, I don't know if Matt LaFleur will be back. If you get what I'm saying? Like, he may end up getting fired along with the defensive coordinator if this does not work out. So Matt is basically married to his last defensive coordinator. It's very not often that you get 3 chances. 3 chances to have 3 different defensive coordinators. This is going to be his last defensive coordinator. Either this defensive coordinator is going to get hired at somewhere else because he does a good job, or Matt LaFleur and this DC are going to be getting their pink slip on their way out a couple years from now because they could not get the job done and live up to the standard of winning championships, and that's what we want in Wisconsin. So clearly, to me, the pressure is on the guy that's taken over a team that felt the coach before him, Adrian Griffin, was not good enough to win a championship. Doc didn't come here to sit here and work with big personalities. Doc didn't come here to make kumbaya with the Bucks. Doc didn't just come here to make sure the defense was better. Doc was hired to win a championship. That is the only thing that he needs to do. He's not going to be judged on anything else but coming in here and winning a championship with the Milwaukee Bucks. He has a lot of pressure because he already has a track record of always underwhelming and never winning big games. So this is an opportunity for Doc to do that, and there's so much pressure on him because it is championship or bust for Mr. Doc Rivers.
Yeah, to me, it's Doc Rivers, too, to be quite honest. When you look at it, he's in a situation that it's the moon or bust. That's a hard situation to be in. You have to win a championship this season or in the seasons to come if they retain him as head coach. Like, that is a high standard. When you look at the Packers defensive coordinator, he's taking him from the bottom of the barrel. We even talked about, even if in the next couple of years you can get him to an average NFL defense.
They're 10th or 11th in points per game now, Brad. I'm just trying to throw a little bit at you.
And maybe like they play as a consistently average team. Maybe that's a better way to put it, where you're looking for consistently average to above average play. But you're saying, okay, Doc, here's your team, here's your culture, go win it. Like, he's had no ability to direct this team, set the culture. He's walking in with big personalities and big egos, and go, by the way, win a championship. And you said it too, Kyle. He has a persona that he can't win the big games in the big series. And he, for himself, wants to rewrite his own reputation, that not only that, the Boston Celtics won championship wasn't an aberration, but it was something that is who he is as a coach. So there's a lot of pressure on him and this Bucks team to get it right, and they don't have any time to waste.
He's such an underachiever, and at least my boy Brad. Brad is number 2. We're number 2.
Second place, Brad?
Second place, Brad. But listen, Doc Rivers, he got his one championship, but Doc Rivers ain't even second place most times. He's underachieving. His team's not even making the conference
we
finals.
hired Brad Nortman.
No, we hired somebody.
Third place Doc.
No, for real. We hired, and Brad Norman, I will at least be happy to get to the Super Bowl. We hired somebody that can barely even get to the dang Super Bowl. We hired somebody that can't even get to the game before the Super Bowl. That's what we did. So there's immense pressure on Doc Rivers to perform. He has a nasty taste in his mouth from the last time he coached.
Y'all are crazy.
Stop it. No,
crazy.
We're
not. Now, I understand the Doc Rivers thing. It's not like, to my knowledge, and I could be wrong here, I don't think they were like, hey, Doc, we're signing you to a 3-year deal. Like, Doc is in sort of a tryout phase. You know how much easier it is to replace Doc Rivers and be a competitive championship team next year? It should be when you have Giannis and Dame, right? Like, you should be able to have a pipeline of great coaches. Now, is it important that Doc does well with this team? Absolutely. I think I want to see that. But we're literally talking, who'd you talk about more the last 4 months? Adrian Griffin or Joe Barry?
Joe Barry.
We're in the heart of the NFL season.
I guarantee if the NBA Finals and the Super Bowl go on at the same time, who you would care about more is the Packers defensive coordinator than the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks.
I mean, we crushed Mike Budenholzer for the incompetent. We crushed him.
Who's we?
You know you crushed him when they lost 4-1 to the Miami Heat last summer. You know you crushed him. Everybody crushed him. That's why Mike Budenholzer, when he got fired, there wasn't people saying, "Oh no, not Coach Booty." People said, "Yes, good riddance. He didn't do enough."
Not Coach Bud, but Coach Booty.
They call him Booty, Bud. Did
they call him
Coach
Booty?
Bud.
You know, when I said Booty,
only his friends call him
when
Booty.
I said Booty, I was really thinking Buddy. I was not thinking about the cheeks that we have.
Oh,
on
stop.
Backside.
All you do is clap your hands on this show. Booty boy.
Let me stop because you know I love you.
It's okay. It's okay. You're human.
Let's get back to basketball and football.
Basketball and football. Who's under more pressure, Doc Rivers or the defensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers?
I think it's clear.
Yeah, and if Doc replicates what Booty did last year, or all I'm saying
Come on, guys. His name is Coach Bud.
If he replicates
Coach Booty,
what Coach Bud, I want to say Booty so badly.
Booty,
Look
rocking
at what you guys
everywhere.
are doing to me.
Booty, rocking everywhere.
Cut, straight laced,
Straight edge
I'm
Brad.
saying Booty on the airwaves now.
How dare you?
I know. I'm offended.
Your wife just turned off the radio.
I know. As she should. Baby, forgive me. If Doc replicates what Coach Bud does, you would say that was a colossal failure. Not a championship, like the shortcomings.
Yeah.
But if the new D coordinator replicates what Joe Barry does, would you use the terms colossal failure? I don't think you would.
Yes.
No.
Would you?
Because
you would
this team hasn't won a
Because the
Super Bowl
expectations-
since they haven't had a top 10 since they've
But the
had
expectations are so low.
No,
Like, so low.
But if it's the same, then we're in the same place 3 years from now, and that's not okay.
No, there's a difference.
It's not okay,
you're
man.
comparing a
You
defensive
don't want a Super Bowl.
No, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. We ain't got to stop throwing stuff out there. Okay, I want a Super Bowl. You know I want a Super Bowl. I almost cried on Saturday night when they lost. But at the end of the day, you're comparing a head coach of an NBA team to a defensive coordinator of an NFL team, and the defensive coordinator is an important position for the Green Bay Packers. But Doc Rivers, he is here for one thing and one thing only, and that is to win a championship. Yes, the defensive coordinator, what he does will help contribute to the Packers winning a championship, but ultimately it is not fully on his shoulders. It is on the shoulders of Matt LaFleur to make sure the defensive coordinator doing what he has to do. Doc Rivers is that guy, and he better, and I ain't just say, listen, he better get this stuff right.
Otherwise, he's gone.
He gonna be gone too, but that's
just like Coach Booty.
But just like Coach Booty, but that's a danger for this program because if the Bucs have to fire
Brad's
Doc
such a
Rivers,
kid.
you're in trouble. I'm telling you, we are as an organization on thin ice because when people become disgruntled, that's when trade requests come and that's when you blow things up. We got to be careful.
Just some good, clean family fun here. Kevin in Sheboygan chimes in 800-990-3776. I think Kyle's nickname should be Homer Jr.
Ooh.
We can ask Homer today at 4:45.
I don't know.
And I love it.
I don't know if my father would like that.
I mean, it's not we're not changing your
dad.
legal name, bro.
Homer, I'm just saying he's proud that his son is a Wallace.
What about like Homer 2.0?
The upgrade, yeah, the better version.
It's like the software update.
Yeah. He's
Homer
Windows,
AI.
Yeah, no, he's Windows 98. I'm the new one. I'm
Something
XP.
went wrong in the code.
What is Windows now? I don't
Man,
even know.
you and the Google and the Android and the Windows, man, you got to live like a little cooler.
That's Safari.
Now, Donna 262 chimes in. What drug is Brust on? What did I do that's warranted for that today?
Yeah, I'm
genuinely, you're the booty guy.
Well, I'm the booty guy because I was making a joke about Coach Budenholzer, and you're the one who brought that up. But the drug that he's on delusion right now, thinking that the Green Bay Packers defensive coordinator has more pressure than Doc Rivers. It is Doc. And Ben, the football season is over. We are in off-season mode. You know what everybody's eyes in
Football's
Wisconsin?
never over.
No, the focus now, once the All-Star break comes, the focus is on the Milwaukee Bucks. The focus is on the NBA trade deadline. The focus is on all the marquee matchups coming for the Milwaukee Bucks. And when you fire Adrian Griffin, your head coach after 43 games, and you hire a star in Doc Rivers, everybody.
Star?
Doc Rivers is a star. Yes, he's a star guy.
He's probably
What is that doc
a good
from?
drop. It's Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
You wouldn't know because
I still haven't watched it. Rob still on YouTube is
As he
holding me
should be.
accountable.
But he'll probably be a Hall of Fame coach, right, Doc Rivers?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he'll be a Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah.
He's coached enough. He's won enough. And no, it's not about winning games. It's about winning championships. He has not won championships. He's won games, and he'll win games with the Bucks, but he'll be judged based off his playoff success. We are in basketball mode now in the state of Wisconsin.
800-990-3776.
Do you find it ironic? I figured, like, okay, Packer season ends, all the drama. Now we can focus on the stable championship Bucks. And 2 days later, head coach is fired or in the middle of drama. I did not see that one coming. I do think it'll help them, but I did not see it coming.
I got a ticket today. Brad, Kyle, you guys drove on this road in which I got a ticket. We will relive our trip to Craig Council Park to bury the past and hear about how my great driving skills were put on display in front of these two. I tell the story about the ticket this morning on my way to work. Coming up next, Kyle Brust and Nortman.
What's up, Doc?
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
And I said, it just came out. I said, are y'all going to talk the whole show like this? Good for you. For the next 25 minutes, all they said was they started ribbing me. Oh, you going to clap like that the whole time? You going to laugh like that the whole time?
No.
You going to lay back like that the whole time? Why don't y'all go sit over in them open seats?
Presented by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Football Guy.
Good morning, Tausch. How are you?
Football Guy.
Old T's a little, I'm not feeling 100%. Tell me,
coming at it from different views.
No, just I think with all that little stuff that's going around and the long trip back from the loo, I'm going to grind.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by Coors Light. Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey, it's Gary Olson here for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking for that midday escape? Or maybe you want to impress a client? No matter the season, rain, snow, or shine, Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is open for you. A top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play legendary courses. Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center simulators, entertainment, and best Bloody Marys make it feel like summer all year round. Just $35 an hour gets you a round and puts that summer feel back in your life. Book your bay at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Hey, this is Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. One of the best decisions I made recently was getting an infrared sauna from Good Health Saunas. They're a local business that's been around for 2 decades, based right in Appleton and Waukesha. Good Health Saunas are easy to install, cost as little as 25 cents a day, and include a true lifetime warranty. Even firefighters all across the country trust Good Health Saunas for sweating smoke out of their skin after fighting fire. Learn more at goodhealthsaunas.com. That's goodhealthsaunas.com.
Big trucks can be intimidating. If you've been seriously injured in a truck crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Trucking law can be extremely complicated. You don't want to take on the insurance company alone. Gruber Law Offices has the experience, the resources, and of course, the results. We know truck law. We know the rules and regulations. We know what it takes to win. Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
For over 4 decades, one name has stood out as a symbol of excellence in automotive sales and service.
It's the Boucher Automotive Group, dedicated to providing exceptional experiences to all of our valued customers.
We will help you find the perfect vehicle within your budget while respecting your time.
With 20 convenient locations, we're the one-stop destination for all your automotive needs.
At Boucher, we're your trusted partner on every mile of your journey.
Riding with you every mile since 1977.
Check out our brand new Hyundai dealership, one of the largest in the Midwest.
Step inside of our state-of-the-art showroom where you can view our new Hyundai models and some of our finest certified pre-owned.
We've also expanded our service center, staffed by our factory-certified technicians.
And right next door, we've started construction on our all-new Genesis of Waukesha dealership.
But we're not just building walls, we're building careers.
So if you're looking for a career with great benefits and opportunity for growth, Boucher's the place for you.
At Boucher, we ride with you every mile.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace for the Bath Authority. If your bath or shower is old, outdated, has mold and mildew, or broken tiles, you gotta call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. Elevate your bathroom to a new level of luxury, style, and safety. Schedule your free in-home estimate today and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
What's better than free? How about play free all year? This January at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you can win over $2,000 in reward play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games to earn prize drawing entries. Then stop by each Thursday night in January to see if you're a winner. $400,000 in prizes is up for grabs. Over 40 winners each week. Yeah, free is for me. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
You didn't know that booty was in. Booty, booty, booty.
Rockin' everywhere.
Booty, booty, booty.
Rockin' everywhere.
Booty, booty, booty.
Rockin' everywhere. Rockin' everywhere. Rockin' everywhere. Found you this new booty. Get it together and bring it back to me. I found you this new booty. Get it together and bring it back to me.
It would appear that booty is dead.
Booty, 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 booty. Rockin' everywhere.
He is Homer Jr. Kyle is Homer Jr. You and Homer both called Coach Budenholzer Booty.
I love me some Homer. Just like I love me some booty. That's what me and Homer got in college.
Kyle Wallace loves Homer and Booty the same way. 800-990-3776. This is great. Chris, did you put this together?
No, this is previously that something that Ashton put together when I think it was with the Super Bowl, when Homer was talking about how much booty there was on the Super Bowl halftime show.
Wow, that's so good.
You and Homer are kindred spirits.
Who would have known?
Who would have known?
It's meant to be.
Some white guy from Indiana would be my little kindred spirit.
He's usually listening. I hope he's listening right now.
I love me some Homer. Everybody know that.
How much do you said you love Homer as much as Booty?
Actually, that was probably a lie. I lean one way. I don't lean the other one. And lean towards Homer.
800-990-3776. You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. I'm Ben Brust. That's Packer backer, Bucks backer, Badger backer, Brewers backer, backer of everything Wisconsin, Kyle Wallace. Brad Nortman, longtime NFL punter. Now, we as a crew here, KBN, we went to Craig Counsell Park to lay to rest Craig Counsell. Not literally. He's alive, and he's making lots of money for the Cubs. Now, Kyle was upset. He called him a traitor. So we went to Whitefish Bay. We went to Craig Counsell Park, and we buried a Craig Counsell bobblehead that was given away, and we, just did a nice, soliloquy? Is that the right word?
Yeah, like a montage.
Like a Virgil.
Vigil?
Vigil.
Virgil.
A vigil. We did a vigil.
Vigil.
Now, I drove us there, and I drove very well within the law, and you guys were very safe, right?
No,
that's not factual. That is not what happened. I remember that drive very, very well. I remember holding on to the side.
Oh, my gosh.
I remember looking and checking mirrors because I wasn't quite sure exactly what you was going to be doing while driving.
We had driven a couple times together up till that point. There's a reason why we haven't driven together since then.
Haven't even asked.
Yeah, we had no interest in doing so. I mean, I'm not sure I'd go as far as saying my life was in jeopardy, but I was making sure that seatbelt was strapped up tight.
You had to make sure the seatbelt was strapped up tight because when he turned a little recklessly. When he shifted lanes, he didn't really do the full check that I do. And naturally, like I said at the time,
you are a double looker.
I check. And then here's the thing: is when I'm in the car, I understand it ain't my car, it's your vehicle. So do what you want to do, player. But he rolled down my window, and I wasn't hot.
Windows unlocked, too.
Yeah, windows locked. I couldn't control my own window. He rolled down my window, didn't ask. We went to his house multiple times because he wanted to stop there. He didn't ask if we wanted to go in the house to get anything. He didn't want to ask us, hey, you sure you want to stay in the car? Do you want to just kind of step out? No. He dictated everything he wanted to do. And then on top of that, there's nothing worse than a texter and driver. But he was texting and driving with one hand, not paying attention, hitting rolling stops at stop signs, ignoring his neighbors as well. And then on top of that, throwing banana peels out the window and making a mockery of littering and damaging this great, green, beautiful planet that we have. It was a rough drive.
Whoa, you have more?
Well, there was one moment I remember specifically because you know me, I try to not break rules or anything like that. Ben takes this turn and he literally looks back and says to us, I literally take this turn every day. And it was 100% an illegal turn. No remorse, no concern over the law or anyone else's safety.
Brad,
and he's trying to save time.
You know what you're missing?
No.
You know what you're missing is that as we were approaching, I said, we got to go this way.
Yes.
And that's when he said, because you're supposed to go right because that's the legal way. The way that they built that area over there, it says you go to your right, you make a right turn, and there's a freeway to get on. Instead of just doing it the legal way, Ben said, let me just forget that no left turn sign. I'm going to make a left turn here. Who cares? I'm Ben Bruss. I can do what I want. I can throw banana peels
You ever
out.
heard my name?
Yeah, I can throw banana peels out during the winter and just let there be litter all the time until the spring when somebody comes pick it up. I'm Ben Bruss. I'll just make a left turn.
All right, you done?
Make a left turn. Yeah, I that's how bad a driver you were. Bad experience.
You said you drive like a Kia boy.
Listen.
So take it easy.
Kia boy driver. Safe.
So is there such thing?
Yeah, no,
Now-
very safe. I know when not to speed.
Now, justice was served today.
How so?
To protect and to serve. I don't know what the mission statement is at the Milwaukee PD, but I wanted to get to the office quick, and I was actually listening to the station, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, morning 7 to 9, 94.5 ESPN, as I always do, and there was a traffic report. And I'm coming down 43, which is north to south, heading from where I live down to our offices at the Avenue right here, the Gruber Law Office Studios. Now, oh gosh, this is just perfect. Now I just remembered it's at the spot of where I usually throw the banana peel out the window.
We're gonna get him.
The traffic report said that it is backed up from Brown Deer to Capitol Drive, which is right where I get on. Where instead of going right and to get on Capitol Drive, I make the illegal left just to beat a little bit more traffic and get on the frontage road. And so I could have very easily went right, not been in traffic because I made a left, and the cop was there.
Ooh, sirens.
Ooh. And I'm not gonna lie, boys. It was right by where I normally throw the banana peel out as well.
He was sitting there waiting.
Won't they do it? I'm saying.
The MPD, they've been waiting for that. They've been waiting for that vehicle in that car. They said, we're going to get him one day because he probably saw you throw that banana peel out the car.
Ben's picture is right up there with the highest level of criminals in the MPD. They're like, this guy, keep your lookout.
Take it easy,
keep on
man.
a lookout for this guy right here. He's a public menace.
That East Capitol corner where Capitol meets Green Bay, they was waiting for you, Ben.
So I turned left, and I was like, oh, they got me. Like, I immediately put on the flashers, pulled over, and I stopped within 10 feet of turning left. I was like, they got me.
You didn't try to hit a quick Yui when you saw him?
Hell no.
Trying to escape?
You know, I'm a Kia boy, yeah.
Man, it's like Grand
I was trying to hit a U-turn. I was going left. I was in a U-turn.
I think U-turn's illegal there, too, my friend.
Officer, I got confused. My fault.
Where'd you grow up? Oh, no, hell with that. You know what you did. Now, I rolled down the windows. They approached me, and guess what I said?
What did you say?
I've never done that before.
I've done this 100 times. This ticket is well deserved.
You said that?
Yeah, I was just like, I'm not going to lie. I'm running a little late. I've done this 100 times. This ticket is well deserved.
How was that received?
Oh, wow. They were like, well.
Wow.
They were like, well, we appreciate the honesty. I also knew that I had some registration that was outdated.
Oh, that's why you got pulled over.
No, I got pulled over for the illegal yield.
They saw that
so I was trying to make some, an olive branch. Sir, I'm sorry. I should not be doing this.
That's your first
Got
mistake.
a warning on the registration.
Hey.
No,
okay.
See, here's your first
Of course
mistake.
you would. You would semi get away with it, Ben. Like, something about Ben Bruss that doesn't surprise me. Somehow he would get away with this in some capacity.
Let me tell you.
I appreciate the police to protect and to serve.
Come on.
And I broke the law. They gave me a
You have
ticket.
no remorse.
I'm
You have
getting
no remorse
I'm
for
getting a
doing
new
this.
car.
He really has no remorse.
Yeah. Next time
mean?
next time you hear a little bit of traffic backup, what are you going to do, Ben? You going to take that turn?
Well, I have a kid on the way. I can't be driving like Kyle anymore.
That's very true. But let me tell you something about MPD. MPD, they deal with murders and all types of stuff. If they're pulling you over for some driving violation, they plotted on your behind. And I'm going to tell you this. Had you probably just kept your mouth shut and played stupid, you may not have actually gotten a ticket.
It was pretty egregious. It was bad.
It was bad. I mean, people take the turn all the time.
Yeah, but I kind of quick. So I was I gotta pull over, stop, be respectful. You can't,
yellow. It was yellow to red.
There might have been a bus coming, not turning right, but about to stop, and so I was like,
no,
putting lives in danger.
My goodness.
Thank you, officers, for holding me accountable, so I don't make the same mistake again.
Yeah, you're just a poor driver, and me and Brad tried to tell you a long time ago, especially me. I tried to tell you that throwing banana peels and apple cores out the window was bad juju for you, and look at the end result. Now you got to pay a fat old ticket because of the fact that you put that nasty stuff into our atmosphere in our ground.
You got to drive in such a way that if I place a phone on the back of your car, you can go 30 miles.
Which Brad Nortman did.
Somehow, by the grace of God.
I do not suggest that. Have fun in life.
but then play dumb when the cops pull you over.
I
like
did
Kyle.
what? Officer,
Kyle, you've been pulled over if you drive like a Kia Boy,
No,
right?
I was.
Come on now, let's not put. I have not. Let's chill.
You haven't?
Matter of fact, I got pulled over one time speeding on the freeway, but it wasn't on purpose. It's when it went from 55. I thought the 55 to 70, the sign was earlier, and so I kind of hit into a
Those are tricky. Those are tricky.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
so I hit the officer. I said, "Oh no, you got me," and then he let me off with a warning. I mean, I didn't say, "Officer, I'm so sorry."
No, I didn't say sorry. I was just like, "Hey, I deserve this ticket. I've done this 100 times."
Not me. I'm playing dumb, baby. What? Oh, I thought the sign.
No, I felt like it was good karma for me to accept that ticket on the behalf of all the illegal lefts that I've made.
No, I pay my tithes. That's my good karma.
You pay your what?
I pay my tithes.
800-990-3776. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Want to know from you, do you have faith that the Packers can actually hire the right defensive coordinator? 800-990-ESPN. Kyle Bruston-Norton will be back in 2 minutes. I'm a good driver.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, Southeastern Wisconsin's beer, liquor, and wine headquarters. For over 60 years, 7 different decades, all as a local family-owned business. Discount Liquor has a selection with over 14,000 varieties of beer, liquor, and wine in stock, along with everyday low prices, expert service, and convenience with 2 locations. But don't just take my word for it. Let's check out some online reviews. Robert wrote, "There's not a better liquor store around. Nobody even comes close to their beer selection. The only issue? I get brain overload because there are so many choices." And Aubrey recalled, "I went in looking for a very specific and rare dessert wine. They not only knew of it, but special ordered it and called us when it was available for pickup. Just can't beat their service." Thanks, Robert and Aubrey, for your kind words and patronage. Discount Liquor in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow.
With tens of thousands of satisfied patients across America, it's no surprise QC Kinetics gets 5-star reviews.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
I can recommend them highly. I would recommend QC to anybody. QC Kinetics has changed my
I
life.
couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
Real people with real lasting relief from joint pain.
QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine is regenerating me.
Super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
This non-surgical approach is definitely the future.
I tell as many people as possible. I am an ambassador. I love QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. No drugs, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Bruston-Nortman, KBN, presented by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Joe Barry out as defensive coordinator. Some of you got your wish. Most of you got your wish. 800-990-3776. You're listening to Kyle Bruston-Nortman. I'm Ben Brust alongside Packer backer, Bucks backer, Brewers backer, Badger backer Kyle Wallace. Longtime NFL punter Brad Nortman alongside us as well. Get us on YouTube at ESPN Madison, at ESPN Milwaukee. And we have a couple polls out there, but the most recent, who is under more pressure, Doc Rivers or the next defensive coordinator? And moving that a little bit forward, based off the history of Matt LaFleur and his loyalty to Joe Barry and the decision-making on coaching staff, because I don't think Rich Bisaccia should be off the hook, and we may get to that in a little bit. Do you trust that Matt, that Goody, that Murphy will actually get this right?
You can probably tell my reaction to this is a bit more measured than celebratory, and this is the exact reason why.
This is what you were talking about, Kyle.
Yeah. I'm trying to come up with a little bit. I just want to, caution everyone. The easy decision has been made. The hard decision is yet to come.
Downer.
I'm just saying. I want our listeners, KBN Nation, you two included, to be fully informed.
All right, inform me. Inform me on why I shouldn't get on.
The reality.
Damn, he's going to inform us now. It's Hear Brad Out next.
Yeah, that's right. You better listen to my voice. The reality is Matt LaFleur hasn't shown an ability to have elite hiring decision making yet. And look, it's still early in his head coaching career. He's only been a head coach for 4 or 5 years, whatever it is. But the reality is he holds on to coaches too long before they show that they're not capable of being able to have success in the Packers system. And he's shown that, think about the guys in 2021 that he passed over for Joe Barry. I still can't get over that, is the amount of guys that have had real career success. The Panthers D coordinator, Jimmy Leonard, these are guys that are now the hot commodities that you're trying to hope to hire now when you hire Joe Barry over them. Now, hindsight is 2020, but my feeling is whether it comes to defense or special teams, offensive side of the ball, Matt LaFleur's got it. Credit to him on that. When it comes to filling out the other roles, a big part of your job is being able to hire the right guys to bring those other areas of the ball success, and he just hasn't shown yet the ability to do that. And that's a huge part of the head coaching job. So I don't have a lack of faith in him, but he hasn't earned my faith to be able to be like, oh yeah, Matt LaFleur's got it. I know no matter what, he's going to do the right thing. This is going to be the biggest decision in his young head coaching career, and I want to wait until I see who the hiring is.
Now, I can agree that it will be his biggest decision in hiring a coach. Listen, he got it wrong with Joe Barry. This should be a lesson for anybody, whether you're a coach or whether you're a human being or you're out in the field trying to find somebody. Never settle for your second choice. Never. Because when you pick your second choice, you'll never be happy. You'll always second guess yourself. And Joe Barry was not the first choice, and he was a disaster from the very beginning, and he ended up getting fired for that. But me, on the other hand, I will trust Matt LaFleur. There seems to be right now a good energy and synergy around the Green Bay Packers. You get rid of Aaron Rodgers and you start fresh. You have a rebirth. We jumped in Lake Michigan because the Green Bay Packers made the playoffs. There are good vibes around this organization, and they're all working in unison, going in the right direction. So with that current energy that they have, I just have a vibe and a feel that Matt LaFleur will learn from his past mistakes, will learn a lesson, and actually move forward and select the right person for the job. He knows now, because he had Mike Pettin, that he basically was given Mike Pettin. He hired Joe Barry, and after seeing what he had in Mike Pettin, what he had in Joe Barry, he has enough evidence and enough research to be able to make a great decision on who he truly believes he needs to lead this team defensively. So I have all the confidence in the world in Matt LaFleur to make the right decision, to find the right guy to lead this defense. This Packers team is going in a great direction. The offense is already there, and the defense is about to catch up with them after they hire the right D coordinator.
Now, it is interesting in terms of getting into the little nitty-gritty here. Vic Fangio, a longtime defensive mind, defensive coordinator, was the defensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins, who Mike McDaniel, part of the Shanahan coaching tree that Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Matt LaFleur, and Mike McDaniel were all on staff in Washington. Vic Fangio mutually parted ways with the Dolphins today, and it looks like he is inked to go closer to home, where the Eagles, where he lives in Philly, and coach the Eagles, who were a disaster, obviously, defensively late in the year. So that's an option that's off the table that looked like again, he's a 3-4 type guy, which is what they've been running in terms of base scheme, not in terms of what they do. Joe Barry runs a lot of zone. Doesn't mean you still can't run man with different 3-4 schemes. My point is, that's an option that I was interested in, but I also wouldn't want my fellow old coaches firing to be the guy on my staff. It's a little sloppy second-ish.
Yeah, it is. And that's why.
I mean, it is.
It'll be interesting to see how Matt LaFleur goes about these, because there's been a couple times in my career where head coach stayed on board and he was in charge of hiring a new coordinator. Ron Rivera, we had a guy named Chudzinski who went off and was the Browns head coach, and Rivera ended up hiring Mike Shula. And the biggest question that Rivera had was, tell me how you're going to take Cam Newton to the next level. That was the crux of exactly who he was going to hire. And then you think about it too, also in the same situation, a couple of years later, we had a new special teams coach. And Coach Rivera would pull film and say, these are the situations that are giving us a hard time. Tell me how you would fix it. I'm curious what Matt LaFleur is going to pull up, what these other guys are going to say. Because you can say all you want about, we're going to be tough, we're going to be physical, we're going to be that. But when a head coach pulls up film and says, here are our players that we need to have success, I'm thinking that now it's going to be like, how are you going to get Rashawn Gary to get 10 sacks a year? Where are you going to position Jair Alexander? He's going to answer these specific questions.
Sorry, Brad. I do this.
Is this a real breaking news?
Yeah, this is. If it is, but I think it is.
Now this is some breaking news.
Go ahead and break it, guys.
This is stupid, is what it is. This is so stupid. The Packers have signed a kicker. Woo!
Oh,
what are you celebrating for?
Because
it's 9 weeks too late.
The standard is set. We are no longer going to accept mediocrity.
Hell with that.
We are no longer going to accept average. We are going to challenge everybody to be their best. Carlson, Anderson, Carls, I don't care what his name is. You have been put on notice, just like Joe Barry before you, just like Adrian Griffin. Everybody put on notice, baby. Everybody.
It's too late. It's too late for me to be like, oh, new standard. You had a chance in the divisional round, and I'm not saying Carlson Anders or Anders Carlson or Anders Carlson or whatever you want to name him was the only reason they lost, but to celebrate like you are right now, Kyle, is baloney.
No, it's not.
Because nothing is guaranteed. The fact that they're doing this and they didn't do it 9 weeks ago is malpractice. More than keeping Joe Barry. Not bringing in competition during a season in which you went to the divisional round and had kicks cost you. A guy that missed 8 kicks in 10 games, extra points. That's garbage for you to celebrate and not be mad that they didn't do it earlier.
I'm mad.
You're a fraud again.
I'm mad that they didn't do it earlier, but I am excited about the tone that Matt LaFleur.
Too late.
This was a given, though, right?
No.
It was a given.
Exactly. He's happy about like the most obvious thing in the world, Brad.
Wait, so who did they sign?
Jack Podlesny.
Yeah, good
Never
sign.
heard.
Yeah, exactly. Our special teams guy.
I don't know who he is, but I like the fact they are setting a tone that nobody should be comfortable.
Setting a tone. If they were trying to do that, they would have done it mid-season.
No, listen, they know what next year is.
You are
next
too much. Homer 2.0.
Nope. This is a good move because we talked about for this team to get better, they need to bring in more competition. They need to sign players. We want special teams to be better. That means you bring in more competition. This is letting everybody know that we are going to make everybody earn their spot. Ain't nothing being given in 2024 no more.
That should be the standard.
What?
Not now. It should be the standard as an NFL organization trying to win a title, dude. You are so late on this. I wish you said what you said in week 12.
Listen,
you're ridiculous right now.
I'm excited to see what the future holds now.
I will say, if you did sign a kicker, let's say week 10, week 15, whatever, it would be it'd be a vote of non-confidence in Andrew Carlson's career.
To have no confidence.
But they want
this is the
Green Bay
NFL,
Packers,
man.
I agree with that, but this is the Green Bay Packers. They want to draft and develop. They want to be sure you're off this player if you actually make a move that's going to indicate we're done with you.
Well, it's stupid because they kept Amari Rodgers too long. They keep guys too long, and it's not okay. $2 million to a special teams coordinator just to be 30th in DVOA.
He might be next.
He should be.
He might be next. He's just going down the chopping block because that's what Matt LaFleur. I'm telling y'all, Matt LaFleur saw what happened yesterday with the Milwaukee Bucks, and he said, you know what? Bumps it. If you ain't doing what I need you to do, you got to go. He told Joe Barry as soon as Adrian Griffin got fired, you know what? You know what happened? Joe Barry got a text message 30 minutes later. Hey, we have a meeting tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
It's the fact that you're using this as like the Bucks are helping the Packers set a standard is actually the problem. And you're also saying that signing a kicker is setting the tone for excellence moving forward.
No,
that's clownish.
It's a signal to everybody in this world that watched football, everybody in the state of Wisconsin. They didn't know who Anders Carlson was a week ago, but now they know. And so everybody knows who he is, and everybody knows that this signing, what this signals is that this team will not settle for average guys like
they did. They did when they had a chance to actually win the Super Bowl, and that is what is most disappointing. And I'm so sad that you can't realize that it's I can't believe he's celebrating something that is so obvious. Clearly, they have to sign competition after the guy they held on to too long in terms of giving too much of a lease helped cost them.
Goody and Matt are doing a great job right now.
Backer dummy.
I would love to see a signing that is of a veteran, right? A guy that is 5 to 10 years in the NFL, been there, done that. That would really turn up the pressure on Anders Carlson. You signed a guy named Jack Podlesny. He's just a traveler, right? I mean, like he's just a guy that was on the Vikings, training camp last year. But you want to send a message? This is how you send a message. Quick Google search. This young man's nickname, Hot Pod. Now send a message. Hot pod.
I don't even know what that means, bro. You don't have to educate me.
That's on Wikipedia.
What is a hot pod?
Don't know.
I know a hot pocket.
Hot pod, though. That sends a message to Anders Carlson that we got competition coming your way from Jack Podlesny, a.k.a. Hot Pod.
I'm just happy about the sending of messages. That's what it is.
That was bound to happen, though,
It was
right?
bound to happen, but follow through. The whole football team saw this. Everybody knows you get one guy fired. Listen, all the things that hurt you this season, your defense, your kicker, your special teams.
Too late. I think a message would have been you sign a 8-year vet. That would have been a message where it's like, holy cow.
He still got time. It's competition, baby.
They do, but...
He was the special teams player of the year. I love it. Brad, you got to love that. So, yeah, I'm excited about these Green Bay Packers. We're moving in the right dang direction, and I'm happy about that.
You're a clown.
This is great.
I literally can't even talk to you.
This is great. Packer Nation should be excited because we wanted change. You know, when you elect somebody to lead you, and you want something to change, and you bark and you holler and you get all mad, and they do change, you should applaud that. And that's exactly what Matt LaFleur and this organization is signaling, is that they will not allow for you to... No, it's not too late.
It is. They lost to the divisional round.
It is late, but it's not too late because your Super Bowl window has just opened up. It is not too late. This was not a year that we expected to win a Super Bowl. Now, had you gotten rid of Anders Carlson, could you have won a Super Bowl this year? Maybe. You might have had a kicker that made the field goal. But that is all behind us, and we're looking in the future and moving ahead. That's all you can focus on in 2024 and beyond. And right now, all I can do is applaud the decisions that my sports teams here in Wisconsin have had lately. Go Badgers, go Bucks.
Shut his mic off. We're going to break.
Everybody,
you're annoying and you don't understand the missed opportunity. You're literally masking his feelings again from the loss and celebrating a loser kicker who might not even be on the roster in training camp in 6 months, dude. What are you doing right now? I'm disgusted as you as a fan. You're letting your team capture your heart and just string you along. You are a puppet of the Green Bay Packers.
All right, keep talking crazy. I'm gonna call
800-990-3776.
I'm gonna say, hey, come get him now. Give him another ticket for being disrespectful.
We're just speaking facts. Let's hear Brad out next because I'm sick of Kyle.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, presented by Bud Light.
No, some of those things I say act like I think I'm something that I'm not.
I mean, you can say listen, I'm finna do this show here from 5 to 6.
I'm finna do this show.
The Homer Hour finna be lit from 5 to 6.
No, I'll never say that again.
It rolls though, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. It's not me.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We're looking at a trio of slowdowns. You're going to see some brake lights on 4145 southbound starting at about Silver Spring Drive up to Mill Road and then continuing down past Silver Spring all the way to Capitol Drive. 94 westbound is slow from the Menominee Valley a couple minutes through the stadium interchange. Lets up as soon as you're past American Family Field. At 43 southbound is pretty slow. It'll be a 17-minute ride from Brown Deer to downtown. That's a 6-minute delay. Those delays starting up at Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol to Keefe. Traffic is brought to you by the Delafield Brew House. A porter is in order at the Delafield Brew House. Their medium-bodied ale is brewed with dark roasted malt for a smooth, bold finish. The Delafield Brew House. Drink ale, live lager. And taking a look at your forecast for tonight. Foggy skies. It'll be mild with a low of 34. Scattered rain on Thursday, mainly in the afternoon. A high of 39. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Wyatt Farmore-Pooley on 94.5 ESPN.
Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play Whistling Straits and other Pro Tour courses, whatever the weather is, in one of their 12 state-of-the-art simulators.
Football guy.
What the hell happened to Bucky on your hat?
Football guy.
A lot of wear and tear for old B.
Coming at it from different views.
I'm just saying he's well worn. I mean, his face is missing. Okay, well, it's probably time for me to freshen that up. Bucky wants to flip you off right now.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by Coors Light. Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. And available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
At Kessler's Diamonds, we know you're too busy to go shopping from store to store, too busy to listen to a bunch of sales pitches, too busy to negotiate. This is Monica Kessler. I'm going to tell you another reason why I like working at Kessler's. Are you ready? At Kessler's, we don't negotiate. We think it's unfriendly and dishonest, so we've never done it. Would you ask your friend to pay a higher price than what you were truly willing to accept? Kessler's is a 100% employee-owned company, and the owners insist that everyone gets the lowest price. Don't believe me? Put it to the test. Go to any of our Kessler's locations and ask to buy something for $1 less than the price on the tag. One of our owners is going to offer to find you something else at that $1 lower price, but the item you want costs $1 more, period. Kessler's is the face of friendship and fairness and integrity. You never have to negotiate at Kessler's, and that's comforting, especially when you're in a hurry.
Brewers win! Get more from your live baseball experience with the 2024 Brewers Ticket Plan. On sale now. Don't miss more exclusive Brewers season seat holder rewards, like your very own batting practice session, more can't-miss action, and more access to the game you love. It's your ticket to being a VIP Brewers fan this season. Plus, you'll enjoy savings on ticket prices you can't get anywhere else. Learn more at brewers.com/ticket plans.
Milwaukee, brace yourselves for an electrifying experience at Couples Clash 2024. Join us on Valentine's Day from 4 to 8 p.m. at 22 Fitness Boxing Studio in Milwaukee for a no-contact fitness event like no other. Feel the adrenaline and watch as couples battle it out and support a worthy cause. All proceeds go to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention's Out of the Darkness campaign in 2024. Mark your calendars for this unforgettable night. The Couples Clash, the ultimate showdown. Sign up today at 22fitnessboxing.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Well, you thinking about updating your bath or shower? Turn to Kohler Services for end-to-end bath and shower remodeling, where Kohler design consultants and installers do the work for you. Family-owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. Start enjoying your bath or shower right now with a special offer. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's Kohler ServicesWI.com.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
You got to join the Princeton Club because the rates have never been lower. Well, you're going to get the lowest rates of the year right now. That's the most important part. And you have until January 31st. And when I say the rates lock in for the year, they do. That's why you got to get the lowest rates of the year in January right now. It's always a great time to join the Princeton Club, but it is the best time right now with the lowest rates of the year. Free childcare with the membership, open 24/7. Those are two big things that I'd skip over, and don't reiterate. Open 24/7. Free childcare with your membership. That's huge. That's why it's a community that you will get better at. Find your better tomorrow. 8 Madison locations, New Berlin. It's been a fantastic place for me and my health, and it will be for you. Join the Princeton Club. 800-990-3776. Montrell in Milwaukee says, Kyle is so irritating and rarely makes sense. Your voice is like glass cracking. Listen to Ben and speak less.
I don't listen to haters. You and Montrell.
He really said Brust is so irritating. I read that opposite. Come on, man. You got so sad.
No, I would go say you and him could jump in the lake together next time.
I am actually fascinated by the comments, the tweets, like that. Like there are some people that this is ridiculous. You're bringing a practice squad quick kicker in that may not even be on the roster, and then you have people that are celebrating this. Like we're forgetting that this Packers team had a chance to win the Super Bowl. The future is bright, but that doesn't mean it's guaranteed. And who's to say that if they did bring competition in and elevate a veteran up and that can make 2 41-yard field goals because they've done it in their career, maybe they don't have the leg strength anymore, but they have the consistency, that could or could not have been the difference against a 49ers team in which I believe that the Lions would have been a 50-50 chance. The Packers and Lions playing well at the same time, but I believe in Jordan Love, and I believe that could have been a game. So it just feels as if we're relying too much on what is going to be the future when you don't know what the future is, where I'm just upset when you have a guy as bad as Carlson was, you didn't bring competition in, and now Kyle's celebrating the fact that they're holding a higher standard for the team. If they were holding a higher standard, they would have actually brought someone in to compete with him.
Oh, well, there you are. They brought somebody in now. The standard is shifted. Sometimes it's hard to change things during the season. And the Green Bay Packers decided moving in 2024 and beyond, as they know they have a Super Bowl type contending team roster that they're going to have moving for the future, they said, you know what? This is what we're going to signal to everybody. competition is a great thing, and that's exactly what the Packers did. So I'm very happy about this.
I also think the reason they didn't make a move is because I don't think the Packers were all in this year. I mean, moves like this certainly makes me think that they are trending in that direction, but they weren't.
It's not about being all in, Brad. If you were on a team like with the Panthers and the Jaguars, and you were a specialist, which you were a punter who held for the kicker. If that kicker wasn't getting done and you had a chance to make the playoffs, and that kicker was failing, you're telling me that even making the playoffs isn't something that would spark a general manager to be like, man, we got to do something about this?
You're right there. I mean, kickers, punters, whoever, I mean, they've done a lot less and gotten replaced. So, and been on worse teams for sure. So it wouldn't have been unprecedented to do. It just, how much are the Packers willing to change their philosophy even in the, a year they're not, quote, all in. But you're not wrong. I mean, kickers have been fired for a whole lot less.
And let me say this. Not for 1 second am I forgiving Goody and Matt for not making the decision to bring in competition. I am not saying that. I'm just saying, you know what? As I process 2023 NFL season and I move forward towards a bright future for the Green Bay Packers, I'm going to be positive when I see decisions like this made, because in the past, I just didn't see it. We went from saying this is our guy, no competition, the competition's already.
Hear Brad out. We got to get to it.
They say punters are people too.
Punters are worthy of breaking news.
No, really, that's what they say.
Raising awareness everywhere that punters are people too.
Okay, let's go to it. Time to hear from the punter. Time to hear Brad out.
What a time to hear from Brad.
Ooh, the timing on this one is so spicy good. Guys, we are living in a Wisconsin sports reality right now where coaches are getting fired left and right. I mean, hot seats turn to scalding, and scalding turns to completely removed. And I want to talk about another coach that should be on the hot seat and turned up to scalding. And that is Rich Bisaccia, the special teams coach for the Green Bay Packers. He is and should be the next coach on the hot seat, where if things don't improve and improve quickly, we could be talking about him 1 year from now on how the Packers have an opening there too. And here's why. Look, the Packers special teams, for the longest time, it hasn't been a positive for this team, right? It's always been a liability. In fact, there's a special teams writer named Rick Gosling, and this is a guy that people take very serious. Special teams quotes, guys, special teams coordinators quote this guy. They use it in negotiations. This is very known throughout the NFL on who this guy is and his rankings. The Packers since 2012 have been 24.5. That's been their average since 2012. They're the bottom third of the NFL consistently in special teams. Yes, Ben Brust.
Just for the record, for the audience out there, how many teams are in the NFL?
32.
24.5 was the average?
Yes.
Oof.
So, and that's consistently bad. And when you look at Coach Bisaccia, he should be better. In his 20 years of being a special teams coach, his average is 15. So, good. Not great, not bad, but good. So I think the Packers hired him, gave him $2 million. That's like Dr. Evil style. Like for special teams coach, $2 million to take this team from being the bottom third to better. And you know what? How the Packers have been rewarded with that? They jumped to 22 last year, mostly because of Keyshawn Nixon's return abilities. This year, they fell back to 29th in these rankings. And as Ben Brust quoted, 30th in DVOA, another way to measure efficiency of the special teams. So basically, this team's special teams is languishing. Most of the benefit was from the all-pro punt returner, but also, guys, the Green Bay Packers. Special teams
led the league in special teams penalties.
Yes, they did. 19, except Ben, you are on it. You are doing your homework.
I like special teams.
I love it. I love to see it. Ben is doing his homework. They have an NFL high 19 accepted penalties when the average was 11, almost double the league average. They gave up a punt return for a touchdown week 3. This team is far from a strength, right? So because of that, we talked about by the time the D coordinator should be dialing it in, third year for a special teams coach. There's no more excuse for who the specialists are, who the players are, and what the theme is of the scheme. You have to make the turnaround. The Packers have to be 15 or better by this time next year for the 2024 season for the Green Bay Packers to keep Rich Bisaccia. Yes, Ben.
Well, you just answered my question, but I do want to put my hand down and say, how do you like the hand raising that I do and hear Brad out now
I like it. I feel like I'm a little bit more of control. I like that better than just being interrupted. But I know.
My question was going to be, what do you need from Rich Bisaccia next year? And you said 15th.
I need 15th or better. He needs to be his historical standard for me to be like, you know what, you are earning your $2 million and you should be kept as a special teams coordinator. Anything less than that, 16 or worse, the Packers need to move on and find a new special teams coach.
The only reason I don't want Rich Bisaccia fired today or tomorrow, I'll give it tomorrow.
Not today or tomorrow.
I don't need Matt.
He has 1 year. He's on notice.
Everybody's, right away.
Well, you'll applaud whatever he does.
Well, I sure will, because look what the man did for me. He made me happy again. He made me whole again. He got my Packers to the playoffs again. They're not going to be on the TV show next year, Hard Knocks, because they are back to being the historically very good franchise and organization making the playoffs, Green Bay Packers.
How many Super Bowls last 32?
Don't worry about that. We working on that. But Rich Bisaccia, you know what? The reason why I'm giving another chance is because after the Packers beat the Cowboys, he said, how about them Cowboys? So I'm going to give Rich one more chance.
What a reason.
What
a reason to pay someone $2 million, as Brad
He has
said.
earned every penny of that.
He yelled, how about them Cowboys? Here's a blank check.
He's good for the locker room. I think he's well-liked in the locker room, but I like what this here Brad Out is saying. This here Brad Out is saying, you know what, Rich? These are the expectations now moving forward. If you don't make those, get ready to pack your bags up. Get that U-Haul ready at the end of next year after the Super Bowl, because even if we win the Super Bowl, if you are not good enough on special teams, and I'm praying about you like I'm praying about Anders Carlson, and remember, he's the reason why they wanted to draft Anders Carlson. Don't forget that. That's true. Well. You going to be out just with Anders.
There it is. The best here Brad Out in years.
Hey! Take it.
That was good.
I love the positive responses from you. Those are my favorite here, Brad Outs.
I like the raising of the hand thing.
Too. Yes, Ben Brust.
No, I'm good. I'm just practicing.
Gotcha. Okay.
And you probably liked it because he was giving you positive affirmation to what you were saying.
I mean, this was
if it was bad, I wouldn't be raising my hand. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, Ben Brust is doing his homework on special teams. Kyle Wallace supports my Here Brad Out. That was about the best Here Brad Out we've ever had on KBN.
And before it goes bad, let's get to Rob Demovsky of ESPN.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Listen, Diana, that's her name. Listen, we all about positive manifestation. I like you, Diana. All it is negative.
Diana.
Criticize.
Dirty Diana.
I love you, Kyle.
Love you too, girl.
I love you, Kyle.
I love you too. That's what I'm talking about. The real Packer Nation.
Presented by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
4145 southbound getting a lot worse. Backups now starting from just south of Mill Road all the way down past Capitol, all the way to Burleigh. You're seeing brake lights pretty much that whole stretch. That's going to be several minutes of delay there. 94 westbound is still slow, pretty much right as you come out of the Marquette interchange to the stadium. It's going to be about 3 or 4 minutes of delay there. Once you get through the stadium interchange, should be pretty good. 43 southbound slow from Silver Spring all the way down to Keith. And then right where those backups end, right at Keefe, is where the backups start for 43 northbound. You're going to see a lot of brake lights coming up out of the Marquette interchange all the way to Keefe. And taking a look at your forecast for the night, we're going to have foggy skies. It'll be mild with a low of 34. Thursday, scattered rain mainly in the afternoon with a high of 39. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley on 94.5 ESPN.
Engagement rings, wedding bands, and big anniversary diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Ready to conquer the Midwest's premier winter playground? Then start planning a visit to Granite Peak. With over 200 acres of skiable terrain, Granite Peak has something for everyone. From beginners to seasoned pros, park skiers to mogul fanatics, and everything in between. Soar to new heights on their state-of-the-art chairlifts and warm up in the cozy historic chalet with roaring fireplaces and stunning views. A legendary winter adventure begins at Granite Peak. Don't miss out. Visit skigranitepeak.com to book your winter vacation now, and for more information, Granite Peak. Legendary winters, legendary fun.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Cousins Subs is teaming up with Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin and Bobby Portis from January 15th to February 29th in support of their PB&J Challenge campaign. Throughout the campaign, Cousins will donate 50 cents for every kids' meal sold to support the challenge. But there's more. Kids will receive a Bobby Portis headband with each kids' meal purchase. And Cousins will be offering a limited time only PB&J kids' meal during the campaign. Cousins Subs. We believe in better. Headbands available while supplies last.
You can make the decision right now to get lasting relief from that awful joint pain for 2024. Don't go another year compromising because of that pain in your knees or your shoulders. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative, non-surgical pain relief. Your body has what it takes to restore and repair that damaged joint tissue, and QC Kinetics can make it happen. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. Hi, this is Brad Nortman. The future of pain treatments has arrived. Hundreds of board-certified QC Kinetics providers have treated tens of thousands of satisfied patients all over America. People with back pain, hip pain, any pain associated with arthritis or an injury. This is not a Band-Aid. This is a revolutionary treatment that can get you moving again. Get your life back. This is the year that you can decide to fight against that pain. Take the first step and call QC Kinetics now. Get a free consultation scheduled today. Call 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
It's been a lot of great timing in terms of news, specialist talk with Brad Nortman here. And I'm glad we have another brain outside of Packer backer Kyle Wallace and specialist lover Brad Nortman. Rob Demovsky of ESPN joins Kyle Bruston Nortman. Rob, good day.
How are you, Ben?
I'm annoyed, to be quite honest. The news of, I don't even care what his name is, the practice squad type kicker that the Packers signed has Kyle Wallace saying this is setting a new standard, setting the right standard for the Packers moving forward. It is like, Rob, it is crazy to me to think that you could celebrate the signing of a kicker that won't even likely be in training camp because he's not any good and be okay with the fact that they did not bring competition in for Anders Carlson when he missed 8 kicks in 10 games. It is mind-boggling to me. I do not understand it.
Yeah, this is just a roster filler. This is, they probably would have signed a second kicker had Anders Carlson made 95% of his kicks because you have 90 guys on the roster. And when you go to OTAs and stuff, you don't want one guy kicking all the time.
New standard.
I don't know that this guy is the answer or even the competition. Keep in mind they had one or two kickers on their offseason roster last year, and none of them made it to training camp other than Carlson. I just think that it was crazy, as we've talked about, that they went the whole season without even having tryouts. They had 2 guys in late September that they brought in for tryouts. That's it. Not even not even to bring in some guys just to sort of catch your attention, right? If you're Anders Carlson, it catches attention. And then here's the other thing, that in this day and age, with how easy it is to put veterans on the practice squad and elevate them for game day without having to use a roster spot, that they didn't do that is malpractice.
Thank you, Rob Demovsky, for having a real brain.
Very misleading, Rob. You know he made that up.
No. He can listen to Wisconsin on Demand just like anyone who's just joining the conversation right now to hear your jargon.
Rob, getting to the defensive coordinator, Joe Barry, the big news of the day, do you think there's anything that he could have done based on how if the 49ers game would have ended differently or any further, into the postseason the Packers could go that he would have kept his job? Or was this basically decision made when the calamities were occurring in front of our very eyes throughout the season?
Yeah, probably the decision was probably made after the Buccaneers game, right, on December, I think that game was December 17th. Short of going to the Super Bowl, I doubt anything was going to save them at this point. I still do wonder why they waited and let him go after the season rather than doing it, right then and there. I guess, he had Matt LaFleur had a line in his press conference on Monday that basically said, how can you ask players to stick together if the coaching staff doesn't stick together? So that probably gives us a little bit of an insight into why he didn't make that move, because maybe he thought it would have been, a sign that they were coming apart during the season. But to me, if you were going to move on eventually, why not do it then? However, you also can argue that they rounded into form a little bit and finished the season at least decently strong after the Carolina game. But it's just, I think regardless, and short of winning the Super Bowl, it was just time for a change. What they had done may have worked for short stretches at the end of this year, but on the whole, it just wasn't good enough day in, out, week in, week out.
We're speaking with Rob Demovsky here, ESPN Packers reporter. And Rob, with Joe Barry being gone, who's next? Like, what is Matt LaFleur looking for in the next defensive coordinator?
Yeah, Cal, it's a great question. Here's the thing that you have to ask, and I say this sort of rhetorically because we don't really get a chance to ask him right now, but does he want to stick with the similar scheme and just get new leadership, or does he want to, sort of blow it up and try something completely different from an X's and O's standpoint? And that's what he's got to decide. Now, the systems aren't as clear-cut, like used to just be 3-4-4-3, right? And that was it. Now, there's so much hybrid stuff going on now that they're not necessarily. You can take. They used to say, well, if you ran a 4-3 and you've got all these players suited to a 4-3, you can't switch to a 3-4, which they actually did that in 2009 when they hired Dom Capers. And we spent the entire offseason talking about how Aaron Campman, who was their best pass rusher at the time, wasn't a good fit for the scheme. And it turns out, he probably wasn't. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think there's more flexibility. But I would assume that if you're Matt LaFleur, regardless of what type of scheme you want, you've got to be more aggressive, and you have to just not sit back and play as much zone coverage, and you've got to go after guys more, and you've got to take the ball away more, because you now have I guess what would be considered an explosive offense. You need to get the ball back to the offense as much as possible. You don't have to be a bend that doesn't break offense or defense, that stays on the field for 8-9 minutes and then gives up a field goal. Like, that's not necessary anymore because their offense is high-powered enough where you don't have to play that kind of football. So he's got to figure out what best fits that sort of description for this defense.
Rob Demovsky of ESPN joins Kyle Brust-Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. I'm Ben Brust, Packer backer. Kyle Wallace to my right and longtime NFL punter Brad Nortman to my left. You can catch us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Now, Rob, your lasting impression of Joe Barry will be what? Here are some options, and you can go off script because I know you get to talk to him as well in the media. I mean, there's Tommy DeVito. There's Baker Mayfield. There's Devondre Campbell and Bijan Robinson. There's Preston Smith and Devontae Adams. There's Ryan Tannehill. Is there anything we're forgetting? Fill us in some of the blanks.
My lasting impression was after a game this year on the road, we were waiting outside the locker room to go in for postgame, and Joe Barry was talking to me, Matt Schneiden, and a couple other reporters, and in mid-sentence, Aaron Andrews walked by, and he literally blew us off, and went right to talk to Aaron Andrews.
Wow. Damn. Wow.
No, that is a true story. That is a true story. But from an actual like X's and O's on the field thing was, look, here's what
you need better hair, Rob.
Yeah, I know. I need a lot more, but that's another story. Excuse me. He, it just, to me, it was the lack of ability to stop the run, and you could point to. How many games? Like, you could point to the Giants game. You could point to the Steelers game. Who else did it this year? Atlanta, right? Atlanta had the 200-yard rushing game against them. That to me, those are when I think of his defense. It's that, and then it's one other thing. It's that game in Minnesota where they just refused to put Jair Alexander on Justin Jefferson. That was last year, the game at Minnesota last year. And they just watched Justin Jefferson just carve him up for 180 yards.
158 for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, felt like 180. But yeah, so those are the moments for me that it's like, I don't know that you can ever get over when it comes to trying to reconcile what they were doing.
Rob, lucky you. You always follow up Hear Brad Out. And in this week's edition of Hear Brad Out, I kept with the theme of what's going on in Wisconsin sports, right? Adrian Griffin, Bucks head coach, gets fired. Joe Barry gets fired next day. I'm not saying he's going to get fired, but the official next coach on the hot seat, I made the argument, is Rich Bisaccia, that if they don't improve by this time next year, that he could be the next one in the scopes. What do you say to that? Do you buy that?
Yeah, totally. I 100% buy it. Now, are other coaches in Wisconsin going to be fired before Rich Bisaccia next year? Yeah, yes. But if you're talking about the Packers, Brad, I mean, he's next on the firing line in terms of just the heat on him. I mean, they were 29th in the Rick Goslin special teams rankings. If people don't know, Rick Goslin's a reporter out of Texas that does these, basically the only one that does these special teams combined rankings. He's been doing it for years. They were 17th last year, which for the Packers is really good because they're never that high. So they went from 17th in 2022 to 29th in 2023. And if I'm not mistaken, Rich Bisaccia is the highest paid special teams coordinator in the league. So you've got to, you've got to sort of figure out, why that is and, what's going on there. Look, special teams is hard to coach, right? They were a young roster. The bottom half of the roster is what plays special teams, so it's even the bottom half of the youngest roster. But yes, they need more from that unit without question, Brad.
Rob, is it just me, or am I just tripping? Why is it this seem that the Packers' special teams and defense, what you say, we've just been saying for the last 15 some odd years, we just need more out the defense and special. Like, what is it about the Green Bay Packers that we just can't get it right on special teams and defense?
I mean, first of all, that observation, Kyle, is 100% accurate. But let's say this. The Chicago Bears are sitting there going, why can't we figure out quarterbacks, right?
This is a good point. I mean, I guess, would you rather be the Bears with that
I'm happy
have your
I'm
scenario?
The grass is greener on my side.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my point is, though, that, every organization has issues outside of probably the one that wins it, in that particular year. It's really hard to be great at everything. That's just the bottom line. You're going to put your resources into a certain area, and you just hope the other areas don't kill you.
I guess the hard part to wrap my mind around is the investments that have been made. You know what I mean? Yeah. I understand the point. Sure. I understand the salary cap and, you have different hits. But, if any year was the year where this could potentially come together with all the first-round draft picks, I mean, you signed some guys that one was traded. Devondre Campbell's likely, I don't think, going to be here. How does it not come together just once after all those first-round damn draft picks?
Yeah, and I think we've talked about this, when they were struggling early in the season or the middle of the season on defense, Ben. I would be willing to bet that Brian Gutekunst and his staff is sitting there going, well, boy, we gave them all these high picks and the coaches can't do anything with them. And the coaches might be saying, these guys, maybe they picked the wrong guys. Maybe they're not very good at drafting. You could look at it either way. Just because you use a high pick on somebody doesn't mean the guy's, going to be really good. Now, we can sit here and actually speak from the facts this year that, Jair Alexander is one of those first-round picks. He missed, 9 games? How many games did he miss? 8 games? Something like that?
Seems like almost every game, but at the end.
Yeah. Eric Stokes was a first-round pick. He's one of those 7 first-round picks. He played 2 or 3 games this year. Rashawn Gary, first-round pick, coming off the ACL. Now, I know they gave him the big contract. Lucas Van Ness, rookie first-round pick. You're not going to get a ton out of that. And then, 2 more of them were second-year guys in Wyatt and Quay Walker. So, yeah, I mean, we can make excuses for all of them. I get it. But, I mean, if you look at them each individually, there are actually maybe reasons why each one hasn't quite done what maybe they will do down the road or were expected to do to this point.
Rob Demovsky of ESPN, thank you for bringing some clarity and some realism into our conversation.
All right, guys, we'll be seeing you.
I love when he says that because we won't be seeing you, Rob. 800-990-3776. He's up in Green Bay. We're in Milwaukee as he covers the Green Bay Packers. Brad, we have to tell our great fans about how you are being less bloated.
That is very true. And I am being less bloated. That's thanks to Carbless. That's because it is my favorite handcrafted premium cocktail whenever I'm looking to put my feet up, relax a little bit, have myself an alcoholic beverage. I always turn to Carbless, the Nortman fridge. I walk right down the steps, open up the door. Woo! The whole Nortman fridge is full of Carbless. And here's why. It has everything I'm looking for when it comes to a drink, an alcoholic beverage that I want to sit back and relax. This isn't something that's contrived, right? This is actual vodka, tequila, and rum handcrafted drinks that are made to perfection flavor-wise. I mean, there's a taste for everybody. Pineapple, lemon, lime, black cherry, cranberry, or the classic cocktails. Like I just picked up my case of it in the grocery store the other day with Paloma, strawberry margarita, mojito, Moscow Mule. There is literally a taste for everybody. You're going to taste it and be like, I cannot believe that this has no carbs. I can't believe it has no sugar. I can't believe it's gluten-free and only 100 calories. And somehow, I still don't know how they do it. They have less carbonation than everybody else, where it's just the right amount of refreshing, but no bloat, as Ben kindly referred to me not feeling bloated anymore. So I know when I go to grab for a drink, I always grab Carbless, and I want you to experience why as well. Find out why less is more and find them Carbless online at a retailer near you.
David chimes in. What segue is Ben taking Brad to with talking about bloating? Well, I think we stuck the landing.
I think you did.
We stick the landing with ESPN Wisconsin coming up next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, presented by Bud Light.
Great to see you again.
Oh, you need some.
And then I said, I appreciate it. The same goes for you. Let me know everything I can do for you. Obviously, what am I going to do for Russell Wilson? You're the man.
Babysit his kids when they go to get
BFF.
Fake relationship of all time.
No way.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I cannot imagine that there's any way that he missed the game because he's unhappy that the game was on turf. I think that's preposterous to me.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30.
I thought they looked great. I got to be honest, I think that's what I kind of expected from the Packers.
Presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Also sponsored by Construction Business Group and Island Resort and Casino.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
A jewelry store can be a pretty scary place. It's full of diamonds and gold, and sometimes the salespeople can make you feel like you really don't belong.
Who wants to feel like that? Buying a diamond should be one of the happiest and most exciting moments of your life, and we promise to make it that way for you. Cross my heart. No matter your age, how you're dressed, or how much money you have, you're going to have a magical experience when you come to Kessler's.
You're going to see the largest selection of diamond engagement rings in one place at one time than you've ever seen in your life.
Looking at rings is a wonderful way to spend time together. And when you find the ring you know is the one, but cash might be a little tight, we've got fantastic financing available and we'll work hard to get you approved.
We're on your side. Kessler's is always on your side. We're 8 stores strong with 6 locations in Wisconsin and 2 in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We'd be thrilled to have you stop in and see what we're all about.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey, it's Kyle Walsh for Universal Windows Direct. If you've been cold in your own home, do not suffer through one more winter in a cold and drafty home. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. Schedule your free in-home estimate today, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free. Plus, a free upgrade to triple pane glass, and they'll double your energy tax credit. Tell them I told you to call and get an additional $250 off your project. Go to universalwindowsdirect.com, and you'll be saying, I love my windows.
What's better than free? How about play free all year? This January at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you can win over $2,000 in reward play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games to earn prize drawing entries. Then stop by each Thursday night in January to see if you're a winner. $400,000 in prizes is up for grabs. Over 40 winners each week. Yeah, free is for me. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Oh, yeah. Get it. Yeah.
KBN Nation.
Are you winning?
Am I winning?
Yeah, you winning?
Am I winning what?
What do you mean are you winning what?
In Underdog Fantasy? Heck yeah, I'm doing well. I just actually had my last one. I did a very good job with my picks for Underdog Fantasy, and I want to set everybody up for some good picks today for Underdog Fantasy. And you know what? The Bucs made a big move. Do you guys think the Bucs are going to respond well?
Oh yeah.
Me too.
Oh yeah.
Me too. I think the Bucs are going to respond well. That's why if you go to UnderdogFantasy.com or you go to the Google Play Store or the Apple Store and you go and download Underdog Fantasy app, you can play Underdog Fantasy right along with me. I got some great picks today. So my picks that I'm going with today, I'm rolling with my boy Chris Middleton. I'm going to have him scoring just over 2.5 points higher than 2.5 points in the first quarter. I got Brook Lopez having higher than 1.5 threes today. I got Donovan Mitchell lower than 31 points today. And I got Giannis starting the game off hot with higher than 7.5. Yes, that is what I have. If you don't believe in me or you don't believe in the Bucs, then try to fade me. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com right now or go to the App Store and download Underdog Fantasy, and that is your opportunity to try to fade me. But I'm telling you this right now, those are winning picks, and that's what I love about Underdog Fantasy. You can pick between 2 to 5 players, select higher or lower on player stats, and if your pick hits, like mine are going to hit today, you can win up to 100 times your money. Yes, 100 times your money. Underdog Fantasy is so super easy to play, and it's even easier to get started. Again, go to your mobile app right now and download Underdog Fantasy or go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Use promo code KBN and they'll double your deposit up to $100. So play Underdog Fantasy today. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Underdog Fantasy.
Got it.
Kyle just eclipsed my longest live read in the history of ESPN Wisconsin.
Oh, well, first and foremost, you guys are playing with me, but I love Underdog Fantasy. I really do. I have a great time playing.
Makes that game exciting.
Trust
I'll say that
does.
much.
I felt it. I was just giving you some crap.
No, it does.
And for the record, this because you did say it, I would fade you.
You want to fade me? Again, it's higher. Ooh. One. Giannis Antetokounmpo tonight, 7 points, higher in the first quarter.
All right, 800-990-3776.
I guess that's pretty cool.
He's going to start hot.
2.5 Chris Middleton, that seems like a
cakewalk. Exactly. Giannis is going to start hot today because he got somebody
fired. My favorite
fired.
thing is he's betting higher on Chris Middleton when he's walking in the studio and he looks like he's moving as fast as Chris Middleton.
Chris had a great game. He scored 26 points or 25 points a couple of nights ago.
Kyle,
shoot those knees up, baby.
Kyle's happy that the Packers are setting a standard by signing a practice squad kicker that Rob Demovsky said would have been signed if Anders played well or not. Joe Barry gone. Doc Rivers hired. A lot to get to in the Faux 1 Faux hour at Faux. So if you want to stick around, you absolutely can on 94.5 ESPN, streaming Wisconsin On Demand, and we are live on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. That's 800-990-3776. And as you know, coming up next in Madison, that is Rutledge and Hamilton from 4 to 6. Kyle Brust and Nortman hearing from you. Joe Barry, wrong answers only. Who replaces him? We did it yesterday. It was a lot of fun. Let's keep it up, KBN Nation.
All your money, radio plays what they want you to hear. Tell me it's cool. I just don't.
A lot of slowdowns around the system right now. The biggest problem, 43 southbound from Highway Q to the Zoo, a 25-minute ride. That's about a 10-minute delay. Those delays starting up north of Mill Road and then all the way down to Burleigh. 43 southbound, quite slow as well. A 23-minute ride from Brown Deer to downtown. That is about a 12-minute delay. That starts up at Silver Spring and takes you all the way down past Keefe, headed on in towards the Marquette. 43 northbound is slow, pretty much leading up to that from the Marquette all the way to Keefe. And a couple minutes slow still on 94 westbound through the Stadium interchange. Taking a look at your forecast for tonight, foggy and mild, a low of 34. Tomorrow, scattered rain, mainly in the afternoon with a high of 39. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee, packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Wyatt Barmar-Pooley on 94.5 ESPN.
Don't put your life on hold to earn a degree. Lakeland University has a long history of making students' dreams come true. Since 1862, build a schedule that meets your needs with options for 7 and 12-week courses, evening classes, and the ability to join classes remotely. Lakeland University is Wisconsin's leader in evening and online education. They have a main campus in Sheboygan County and 6 centers throughout the whole state. Lakeland University, affordable, quality, flexible. Find out your next steps at info.lakeland.edu.
Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Dr. Ryan Stefanchuk. Board certified in sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation, Dr. Stefanchuk specializes in non-operative treatment of the spine, chronic pain, all joints, all musculoskeletal problems, and more, emphasizing holistic care first, with a focus on diet, sleep, stress management, and social connections for a patient's well-being. At Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Bruston Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN. Presented by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We them boys. Holla, we them boys. Holla, holla, holla. We making noise. Holla. Holla, 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 holla.
It's the 414 hour at 4 on KBN.
And KBN Nation did a wonderful job with our question yesterday of wrong answers only. After Mark Tauscher joined us, you can catch Tausch Wednesdays. Oh gosh, today's Wednesday. On Tuesdays, on Wisconsin On Demand, find Kyle Bruston Nortman wherever you get your podcasts. Somehow he wanted Larry Bird to coach the Milwaukee Bucks. I chose Larry Sanders, and a lot of you chose Joe Barry as the Bucks head coach to teach them defense, which I thought was probably the best answer. Now we want to know the wrong answers only for Joe Barry's replacement on the Green Bay Packers. 800-990-3776. 800-990-ESPN. Bobby Boucher is one that I like early, although I would probably rather take Bobby Boucher as a middle linebacker. If I'm being honest, he would definitely help stop the run. Justin chimes in with Kyle. I think that's a horrible idea. That's probably the best idea yet, then.
I would
a slow D3 cornerback?
Coaching or playing?
Coaching.
Yeah, I mean, coaching, you
Get
don't
him
have,
hyped.
I mean, didn't Bill Belichick played at like a Division III school? You don't have to be a Division I athlete to be a really good coach. I could be a good coach. I would be a good DB's coach, but I ain't gonna lie to you fellas. We'll probably get gassed too, because my head to be spinning to like, dang, they fast.
Yeah, these old coordinators are smart.
I could have sworn I had that lined up right, boy. I don't know.
Gosh, that's so funny. I can see Kyle hold a clipboard with like a pen or a pencil, rather.
Yeah. You know how Giannis had the clipboard was drawing up plays against Detroit Pistons for Adrian Griffin's last game? That'd be Jair and the rest of the boys. They'd be like, man, he don't know what the hell he doing. We're going to have to draw up the coverage here.
Kyle's holding like the surface and just being like, I don't know what is going on.
What the hell kind of play was that?
They got me. How did they know we were just showing the blitz and we weren't really blitzing? Boy, oh boy.
800-990-3776. Mike LaFleur is an answer that's kind of funny, Matt's brother. Bill Belichick from Dick Van Dyke. Come on, man. Bill would be great. This is wrong answers. 800-990.
Would he, though?
Kevin King.
Hey!
That's Cameron in the 262. Let's welcome in Alan in Brookfield. Alan, next Packers defensive coordinator. Wrong answers only.
Jim Leonard, Wisconsin.
No,
How's that a wrong answer? That's one of the games that's been mentioned. That's not a wrong answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good. I mean, it's a good real answer.
Chris be snapping on
Ruthless.
fools, man.
Ruthless.
Did Alan in Brookfield not get the question and not get the request of what we were asking? Maybe he needs to turn his radio up to 10 instead of 5.
Oh, he'd turn up to 25. You know it was a good one? Ahmad Carroll.
No, Jim Leonard's a good one. Just because Chris was just amazing there.
I mean, maybe he does think Jim Leonard's a joke. Maybe. Text 809.
Yeah, actually, Alan Brookfield called back. Chris is going to answer. He wants to talk to you.
I want to know whether or not he just thinks Jim Leonard is a joke. And it's like, no, Jim Leonard's a terrible answer. I'm curious.
Herman Boone from Remember the Titans, except I believe it was Coach Yost running the defense.
Coach
Coach Boone ran that triple option.
Because Coach Yost is the one that said, we will blitz all night. That's what I want out of my Green Bay Packers.
Now, I could do that whole scene. Do you want me to do it? I could do it.
I mean, you're setting the stage.
Defense on me. Now, I don't want them to gain another yard. You blitz all night. If they cross that line of scrimmage, I'm going to take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans.
That was good.
Wow. The Academy is calling. That was pretty good, actually.
Really good.
Ben's pretty good at impersonations.
Hey, he's pretty good.
I either crush him or suck at him.
He's pretty good at faking it.
Yeah, being a faker.
Yeah, that's
exactly what it is.
Whoa.
That's
Come
what
on, man.
acting is.
Why can't we come together
Yeah,
right
you're
now?
very creative in faking it. Good job.
Although you did clap for me and it looked genuine.
It was. I did. You did a very good job. You got me excited.
I'm really enjoying all of our great KBN Nation. 800-990-3776. Mark from New Berlin as the defensive coordinator. He is the guy that called Jordan Love a Ferrari in the garage. Ahead of his time, before anyone ever wanted to put his name on Jordan Love, he hit the lottery. The man hit the jackpot. Even Goody didn't think Jordan Love was going to be good as Mark in New Berlin thought.
Yeah, Mark in New Berlin might be better off being a general manager than the defensive coordinator. You got to know where to put your personnel. And Mark in New Berlin from KBN Nation, he deserves to be in that GM slot because he can see the future, unlike a lot of us could not have seen.
Now, Joey from the 262 chimes in. Kyle coached high school ball for years.
I did. I was a defensive backs coach.
He figured it out.
I actually coached. You know what? I did coach the defensive back of the year when I was coaching there.
You're probably like a player's coach when you got hurt senior year and you're playing against the Brookfield Central Lancers, led by Brad Norman.
No, if I was coaching, we would have won that game.
Oh,
I didn't contribute enough. That's the issue.
I also like that he adds Ben would be funny coaching football. I would be so awkward. I would be horrible.
Yeah, that wouldn't work out.
I love football, but I am not meant to be a coach of football. Gordon Bombay, I think he could take any team to the promised land. Let's go to Phil in Cedarburg. Phil, this better be good. Wrong answers only for the next defensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers, because if you say something dumb, Chris Larson will be in your butt.
All right, this guy's available. This guy's a defensive specialist, Adrian Griffin.
Hey, all right.
Okay.
That is a good one.
It's good because
That is a good one.
It's good because Joe Barry obviously was the winner there. So low-hanging fruit, Phil, we'll give you a pass there. We like it, Phil. Thank you for the call. Mike in Lake Mills, 800-990-3776. Your wrong answer only for the next Green Bay Packers defensive coordinator.
I don't know if he's on a gel yet, but how about Derek Sharper?
Oh, yeah. That's good. Oh, no.
That is
Darren Sharper.
Darren Sharper.
I don't
intro.
think Darren Sharper's available. I don't think he's out yet. I think for what he did, which was sick, he's probably he may be.
I think we're gonna move on from Darren Sharper. 800-990-3776.
How about a guy?
I did say wrong answers only, but that was the wrongest answer only.
How about an aggressive guy that's a little bit unhinged? How about like Lawrence Taylor? Get Lawrence Taylor in there. Get these guys just foaming at the mouth.
I'm not sure if Lawrence Taylor is the right fit for for that. Actually, if you tag team Lawrence Taylor with Michael Irvin, boy, that'd be a hell of a defense. They have some fun now.
Give him all that like pre-workout type stuff. If you know what I mean.
Oh, they get
really playing hard.
Yeah, that's pre-workout stuff. All right.
I would say Kevin O'Shea from Little Giants would be one of my submissions. We gained a yard. Although that was on offense.
That's a good one.
800-990-ESPN. Brian and Lake Mills, if this is good, we continue. If it's not, we move on. No pressure.
Oh, it's going to be golden because of who it is, and because he always thinks he knows everything. None other than Chewy.
Hey.
That's good.
Very good, Brian and Lake Mills. Very good.
I think Chewy would be fantastic. Very aggressive play caller.
Bobby Boucher would be great on his team.
Old school mentality.
Old school mentality. Hey, listen, the most intimidating team in the country.
Starting off the season against the Niners, week 1.
Set the tone.
800-990-3776. 800 line 1, Chris. I normally say that off air, but I got to gather myself right now.
That would fit what I want the Packers to do right now.
Stop that!
Everything that
No, don't clip that.
No.
Kyle said that he wants to hurt people.
No, that's not what I said. I'm talking about setting the tone. That's what the Green Bay Packers have done. Firing people and setting the tone.
That can take a lot of different approaches on how to do that.
Yep.
Oh, no. O.J. Simpson. Oh, no.
OJ.
Juice.
O.J. Simpson may be another good one as well.
Oh,
because if he did do it, we will never find out.
I mean, Brad, you got to give me something over here.
I gave you Lawrence Taylor. Actually, I had Coach Yost. I had Coach Yost too.
Kyle?
I mean, I gave you one earlier. I'm trying to think of
y'all just listening.
No,
you guys just threw in the towel in the 414.
No, I know. I enjoy hearing what they have to say.
It's not your job to sit here and listen.
I think these are great options to choose to who the defensive coordinator is going to be. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a great one. I said Ahmad Carroll will be a great option. Ahmad Carroll is an absolute legend here in Green Bay Packers. You know what? Eric Stokes may be a better option too. He sure can't play.
Creek, save me. Chris, Ken and Oak Creek, please. There you are.
Okay, thanks for taking my call, guys. Hey, Tom Hanks, that he can change the line. There's no crying in football.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate the effort, but that was a little bit of a reach there.
Tom Hanks, he was the lead in the the girls softball movie, the Bernstein Bears. What's it called?
800-990-3776.
Yeah, that was A League of Their Own.
Not Bad News Bears.
The Bernstein Bears. Like
the Bernstein Bears. Bro, you're done. You're done.
Wait a minute, the Bad News Bears. Were the girls, was the girls team called the Bears?
That was the Bad News Bears, yes. With
Wash away your sins in that bath that you have.
Walter Matthau was the original, and then Billy Bob Thornton did the remake.
Yeah, all that good stuff. I really thought it was the Bernstein
Give me
Bears.
the ball back and tell us about Baths.
I'll give you the ball back and tell you about Baths. I may not know about the Bernstein Bears or the Bad News Bears or the League of Their Own, but I do know about Bath Authority. That's what you need to know about as well. If your bath or your shower is outdated, has mold and mildew, or broken tiles, you got to call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. Plus, when it comes with a lifetime warranty. You got to love that. So whether it's walk-in tubs, replacement showers, tub-to-shower conversion, and so much more, my friends at the Bath Authority got it all handled for you. They have custom bills. They'll have premium accents and accessories, including some great safe features for you. All Bath Authority products are 100% made in the USA and can be installed in as little as 1 day by a certified technician. You do not have to worry about them coming in and out your house, day after day after day. Nope. They have certified technicians that will get it done in as little as 1 day. If you call today, you'll get $1,000 off your new shower or your bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. You're their priority at the Bath Authority. Elevate your bathroom to a new level of luxury and style and safety with the Bath Authority. Visit thebathauthority.com. That's thebathauthority.com. A better bath awaits.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, presented by Bud Light.
Giannis does look like a longer, he beats on his body, he kind of plays so rough. You wonder about Shut up, Max. Yeah.
I'm not letting that one pass.
Yeah, I just realized beats on his body. Like, I meant like physical.
I don't
man.
know what y'all talking about.
Physicality down there.
Come on, Kyle.
No, you guys are, I don't know what it is, but I'm sure your minds are in the gutter. Grow up.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
A new wrinkle to the slowdowns. It's 894 westbound, which is slow, a little bit short of 60th Street all the way back through the Mitchell. 43 is now looking quite slow both ways. Southbound from Brown Deer to downtown, a 25-minute ride. Still about a 14-minute delay there. Those delays starting up at Silver Spring and stretching all the way to the Marquette. And coming up out of the Marquette on 43 northbound, you're going to see a lot of brake lights all the way up to Keefe. 4145 southbound is still slow, now all the way from Good Hope Road down to Burleigh. That's going to be about a 24-minute ride, a 10-minute delay. And we're still seeing those couple of minutes slow on 94 through the Stadium Interchange. Taking a look at your forecast for tonight. Foggy skies. It'll be mild, a low of 34. Scattered rain on Thursday, mainly in the afternoon, a high of 39. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley on 94.5 ESPN.
Football guy.
What the hell happened to Bucky on your hat?
Football guy.
A lot of wear and tear for old B.
Coming at it from different views.
I'm just saying he's well worn. I mean, his face is missing. Okay, well, it's probably time for me to freshen that up. Bucky wants to flip you off right now.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by Coors Light. Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. And available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel. I've spent a while telling you about Mentality because it works. Not just for me, though. Take it from fellow Mentality user Jason. He's got a new lease on life thanks to Mentality.
Process was easy. It really, truly was. And the individuals that work at Mentality, very helpful, very respectful. It was an easy and easy out. You go in a week after, they give you the results right away. And once you find that you're able to do it, just that thought, the energy already picked up a little bit. Most of it could have been mentally wise, but knowing that, hey, I get to start this, it was incredible.
Learn more today at MoTUSA.com.
Brewers win!
Get more from your live baseball experience with the 2024 Brewers Ticket Plan. On sale now. Don't miss more exclusive Brewers season seat holder rewards, like your very own batting practice session, more can't-miss action, and more access to the game you love. It's your ticket to being a VIP Brewers fan this season. Plus, you'll enjoy savings on ticket prices you can't get anywhere else. Learn more at brewers.com/ticket plans.
There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Is your phone plan messing with your savings plan? Don't get stuck paying for things you don't want. With Verizon, you only pay for what you need. And for a limited time, when you bring your own phones to a Verizon store, you'll get an amazing price on your plan. Plus, you'll save on things you actually love, like the Netflix and Max with Ads bundle. And it's on our award-winning 5G network. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today for an incredible deal. A better plan to save is Verizon. Additional terms and conditions apply.
If you have a dog, you might be worried about your good boy being bad for your carpet. But if you had Life-Proof with Pet-Proof Technology carpet, you wouldn't have to worry, even if you had a whole pack of dogs. Because Life-Proof with Pet-Proof Technology delivers permanent built-in stain and soil protection that never washes or wears off. Quiet, sit, good dogs. Life-Proof with Pet-Proof Technology available only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Right now, more than 100,000 children waiting in foster care need our help. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is focused on finding them safe, permanent homes. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
This is Kyle Bruston-Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
QC Kinetics is your answer for all that joint pain you keep experiencing. You no longer have to live with it, whether it be your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your back, wherever you are experiencing joint pain. You need to call QC Kinetics because they are the nation's leader in regenerative, non-surgical pain relief. That's right, no surgery, no drugs, no downtime, because QC Kinetics harbors what you already have in your body to restore and repair that damaged tissue. And don't take my word for it. The future of pain relief has already produced thousands of satisfied patients all over the country because of the hundreds of board-certified QC Kinetics providers and their ability to take away that hip pain, that joint pain, knee, shoulders, wherever it is, whether it's arthritis or an injury. Whatever you're experiencing, QC Kinetics has an answer for you. Life is all about motion. Life is all about doing things. It won't be long before the nice weather comes out and you're going to want to be even more active. So now is the time to address it. And call our friends at QC Kinetics to get a free consultation today to fight against that pain that has been holding you back. So call QC Kinetics today at 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Kyle Bruston-Nortman with you till 5 o'clock, leading up to the Homer Hour. Homer's scheduled to appear around 4:45. Dang it. Gonna have to run up to my desk and grab $100. I owe Homer $100.
No, you won't, because he's not in studio today.
Okay.
Damn. I just want to get rid of it.
Yeah, you give me all right.
I
can put it on
the
black.
The sad part is I was actually going to ask if, Chris, if you could maybe give it to him next time you see him, but now I can't trust you. I knew Kyle was a scoundrel. Brad, I would leave it with.
Yeah, but you're not going to see Homer after I am, are you?
No, but that's why it doesn't make sense to.
Yeah, I'm glad I could be trustworthy with your $100. Though.
I mean, I would
treat it like $1,000. That's how I'd be so careful with it.
I would suggest what we do is, instead of losing $100, why not go
to Pato and put it on black?
And put it on black, and then the 100 goes to 200, and now you don't lose any money.
That line of thinking is brilliant.
It is. What's up?
Chris, Chris, how does that work? Chris, how does that work?
It doesn't work because you never had the other extra 100 to begin with. So
yeah,
that 100 has Homer's name on it, though. So you're taking Homer's 100 and you're putting it on black.
Listen, you can always work hard.
You know what?
And
you've already done that.
I'm going to ask him if I could go after the show since he's not here today, and if it hits, he gets 150. I keep 50. You know what I mean? Can you see what I'm saying here? It's his 100. See if he's willing for me.
But what if it doesn't hit though?
Well, then he's okay with that. He's got to be okay. He's got to be okay with the 100 not hitting, or he gets 150 if it hits, and I get 50.
Interesting.
And no, you get 25. I get 25. It's dirty money.
What?
I'm the one with the idea. What do you mean? We could play it back. I came up with the idea
because you love being a part of my gambling adventures.
In this situation where it doesn't have my money on the line, absolutely. And at the end of the day, that's dirty money. That's tainted money.
The hard part is
the Packers lost.
The hard part is, Kyle, is you say all this now and then. Wow, my mom told me that while I was gone, I signed up for $100 to bet in roulette.
I mean, yes. You have.
Shout out to the moral compass of the show, Kyle's mother.
If you do this, you know this is going to be the time he's going to hit it, Kyle, and not when we put our own money.
Oh, it don't matter to me. If I get $25 off somebody else's money, I'm happy.
Sean in Hartford, 800-990-ESPN. Welcome into Kyle Bruston-Nortman.
How about this guy? During his interview, he says, I have a very particular set of skills. Skills that I've acquired throughout the years. Skills that will be a nightmare for people like you. How about that guy?
I don't. I mean, it's the Taken guy.
As Liam Neeson's son,
good luck. Good luck. Good luck, Sean.
Good luck. I love that.
Good luck.
As Liam Neeson's son.
Feels like a good...
I support that.
Oh, that's right.
Remember?
Oh,
my God, it's Liam Neeson's son. walking through New
the
York.
Crazy part is where the heck you were.
Yeah, I was walking through New York, Thanksgiving weekend with Lexi. We're just looking at the balloons, and some dude on a bench, I'm minding my own business, he's minding his, and I walk by, and all he says is he shouts, "Oh my God, it's Liam Neeson's son!" to me, directed at me.
I can see it.
I'll take it.
Liam Neeson would, as Mark Chmura, was an option that somebody chimed in as Packers defensive coordinator. I feel like Liam Neeson with that speech would be very fitting as a co-defensive coordinator with Chewy.
Yeah, all these wrong answers would definitely get Matt LaFleur fired and send the Packers spinning into abyss and being a bad franchise. So,
well, speaking of making changes that you hopefully believe in. That's the key word, hope. Do you actually believe that Doc Rivers, Kyle, the new head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks, can get it done right now?
So here's the thing. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here in front KBN Nation.
You normally do. But I'm going to do the thing that I did with Brett. I'm going to turn my mic off, and if I have a question, I'm going to raise my hand.
I keep it 100 as much as possible. And here's my thing. I'm not going to lie. Doc Rivers, I always laughed at Doc Rivers' career because Doc Rivers, for me, he seems like he keeps failing and getting jobs. This is unusual for coaches to have this many opportunities to be lackluster and underperform and underwhelm and underachieve and continue to have opportunities. Yes, he won a championship 16 years ago with the Boston Celtics with future Hall of Famers on the roster, but they only won one. They underwhelmed and underachieved. He went out to L.A. with the Clippers and had Chris Paul, and what did that team do? Yeah, it was Lob City, but it was also Lose City as well. They didn't make it to an NBA Finals at all. And then on top of that, you look at what he did with the 76ers. All I remember is the 76ers losing year after year after year, losing 3-1 leads. This is not the energy that we want. So I have to find a way to convince myself that a guy like Doc Rivers who has underachieved over and over and over, is a good option for the Milwaukee Bucks. But you fellas know what I came to?
What's that?
When I thought about it.
Nice, Ben.
That's like the 8th time that we've been on like White Guy Mind.
Cans?
Yeah, I'll never be on that. I'll never be on that wavelength. But what I came to the conclusion.
You went to Whitefish Bay, damn it!
It's in the town name.
Yeah, but I'll try to be on the white man's wavelength one day. I'll try. But like I was saying before, is when I thought about this, I said, you know what? Doc Rivers and the Milwaukee Bucks have something in common. They both have something to prove. Giannis Antetokounmpo has been to one NBA final. Giannis has been put out multiple times in the first round by significantly lower seeds and being upset. And just like when you look at Doc Rivers, he's underwhelmed as well. He hasn't been to an NBA Finals in a very long time. This might be a match made in heaven. When you have two people who have both failed at their goals in trying to win championships, both have underachieved and underwhelmed, that might be a match made in heaven. So you know what? I'm going to embrace the fact that we are getting the person who's not even second place, but a guy who just doesn't finish in first ever or second dang near ever as well. In Doc Rivers, and maybe, just maybe, he has the juju and the juice we need to make the Bucks a championship team this year. So I am trying to convince myself that this is the time that Doc Rivers and Giannis Antetokounmpo and also Dame Lillard come together and create something special here in Milwaukee.
I like the way that you're convincing yourself. You've convinced me. Let me convince you a little further as well.
Ooh, powerful. A lot of convincing.
That's right. We're trying to convince ourselves. We need optimism here for the Milwaukee
Never a
Bucks.
good thing when you have to say we're trying to convince ourselves here.
Now you got to get somewhere.
Well, let me tell you something about Doc Rivers. You're totally right in the fact that he has a story that he wants to rewrite. He is known as the guy that can get to the playoffs but blow a 3-1 lead, right? Everyone's saying, well, you've only won one NBA Finals with the Boston Celtics, and what have you really done besides that? But first of all, that is something. It is something. It's a very small fraternity of NBA coaches that have even won an NBA final. So he's been to the summit. He knows what it takes. But he is trying to rewrite his own story. And as you said, the Bucks are trying to shed that label as well, that this is a good match. Here's the other thing. With Doc Rivers, when is the time that he actually had the team that was considered the juggernaut, that was considered the favorite? He only had that for a period of 3 years with the Boston Celtics, give or take, with that crew of Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce. And guess what? He went to the NBA Finals those years and won one. The other years with the Magic, with the Clippers, with the 76ers, they were just the 4 seed. They were the 6 seed. They were never taken seriously as the actual favorite. He has an opportunity with the Bucks to now be in that conversation as the favorite. Last time that he had a roster that actually should be an NBA title contender, he brought them to the finals and won one. Okay. He has that again with the Milwaukee Bucks. I have optimism that Doc Rivers is the guy for the Milwaukee Bucks.
This is the Brad I need when we're talking about Packers. I like this optimism. I like these facts. These are the numbers that you bring in. When he had a championship caliber player, when he had one of the best players and the best teams in the NBA, what did he do? He
lost with Joel Embiid.
He won. Joel Embiid ain't the same.
The 76ers are meh.
I mean, he won the MVP, guys.
I don't care.
But that's all they had was Joel.
Yeah, it takes a team. It wasn't a bounce.
I'm just providing some context.
I'm just saying, I'm with Brad here. We are on the bandwagon of the person who I always thought was overrated, and now he's my guy I'm cheering for.
Now he's my guy I am cheering for.
Yeah,
when I know you're into something, you're not doing your high-pitched voice. You're not doing your convincing voice. The fact that you are convincing yourself right now scares the heck out of me because you're not all in. And as a guy who goes all in for his sports teams, this doesn't feel like it, Kyle.
Well, this is an awkward situation. This is halfway through. this is an unexpected divorce that we had, and now all of a sudden you got a new boo all of a sudden in 24 hours? Usually that's a shameful thing. The boo that was
if we're being honest, this isn't a boo that just came out of nowhere. He was helping the team, allegedly.
Yeah, I know, so it's kind of
weird. There's always a reason
situation.
why there's a divorce. Someone's always in the way.
Somebody's lurking, so it's just kind of messy.
It is messy. I mean, the thing is, he just doesn't get the opportunity to set his culture right away and set his leadership, right? He's taking over something midway through. There's already issues out there. This is a very strange situation. If Doc Rivers can win an NBA title this year, it's going to go up there as one of the better coaching rescues in NBA history. I mean, with how poor they were playing on defense, how much challenge they have to turn things around, it'd be downright impressive.
When Tyronn Lue did it with the Cavs, he was on the staff. So he didn't just come off the street and sitting and working in a role where he was helping. No, he was right there with the team. So he could evaluate some of the areas they need to improve. Doc Rivers ain't got that same luxury, so I'm just hoping and praying like my boy Matt LaFleur did with Anders Carlson kicks, and I hope.
And how did that work?
I hope it
hope
works
and pray.
Hoping
you're
not the link I was trying to make. With Doc in the box. Come on,
I pray.
Kyle
Doc,
doesn't
please,
believe.
Please, Doc, please.
All right, well there goes the Buck season. Kyle's hoping and praying.
Let's see and find out.
Let's see and find out and hope and pray.
Anybody that sits here and thinks that, Doc getting hired in the middle of the season, he's going to be a championship team. No, Doc ain't a championship type coach.
Man, this took a 180.
This pivoted.
This is a 180.
We just agreed that he's the guy.
No, you were like, I love this brand. Now he's like, I'd be crazy to sit here and say this team can win with Doc Rivers.
I can't.
What the hell is going on in your brain right now?
I can't definitively say that. Confusion, man. This is a confusing time. This is exactly what it is. My coach got fired in the middle of the season.
Those synapses are getting in the way of each other.
We hired somebody like any Bucks fan that is 100% confident in this is lunatic. It's crazy. We just have to hope for the best.
It's usually you. So shout out to you for not being that. We're going to do one of Kyle's favorite segments coming up next. That's the KBN Academy. Don't go anywhere.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, presented by Bud Light.
What have I done that's hating today?
Jeez.
You are not a new man. I thought you were a new man today.
I'm telling you, I was good. I ate my little donut holes from Jacobson Orchard, so I was feeling good. I had a steak for lunch. I was all good.
Steak for lunch?
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Well, there's still no accidents up on the board, but we are seeing on pretty much every camera this low, dense fog that's causing a lot of these delays around the system as everybody looks like they're just driving a bit slower, and we're seeing these delays all around Milwaukee. 41 southbound from Highway Q to the Zoo, a 24-minute ride. That's a 10-minute delay. Those delays stretching all the way from Silver Spring down to Burleigh. 94 is slow both ways through the stadium interchange, a couple extra minutes. 43, a real mess. Strong delays starting north of Hampton Avenue all the way down past Keefe and all the way headed down into the Marquette. Same coming out of the Marquette. Very slow. Lot of brake lights as you head up to Locust. And even 894 westbound is slow coming out of the Mitchell interchange. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. Taking a look at your forecast for tonight. Foggy skies continue. It'll be mild with a low of 34. Scattered rain mainly in the afternoon on Thursday, a high of 39. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley on 94.5 ESPN.
Be greeted by an owner at America's largest employee-owned jewelry store.
Welcome to Kessler's.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every U. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Ashton Rotman with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Brookfield Central's Jack Doherty. The senior basketball player, a huge performance last week week in a 92-57 win over West Alice Hale. He set a school record with 11 three-pointers on just 13 shots in the game. He finished with 44 points and 11 rebounds. It's been a solid season offensively on the stat sheet for the Illinois State commit Doherty. However, the Lancers have been right around 500 for most of the season. This week, games against Marquette University and Kimberly will take place for Brookfield Central as they look to get back to their winning ways. Congratulations again to Brookfield Central's Jack Doherty on being this week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, and good luck the rest of the season.
For general contest rules, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
Hey, it's Kyle Walsh for Universal Windows Direct. If you've been cold in your own home, do not suffer through one more winter in a cold and drafty home. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. Schedule your free in-home estimate today, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free. Plus, a free upgrade to triple pane glass, and they'll double your energy tax credit. Tell them I told you to call and get an additional $250 off your project. Go to universalwindowsdirect.com and you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Get in now. Go to PrincetonClubNewBerlin.com. That's PrincetonClubNewBerlin.com.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
That's what I like about ya. Yeah, that's what I like about ya.
Shout out to everyone on YouTube not roasting me with this Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer nose. You see it now?
Did you just go during the break to bust a zit?
Well, no.
Did you pop a zit while you're doing the show?
No, I was using the restroom. I was going tinkle, and then I went to the mirror and was like, dang, that looks like it's ready to go. And it wasn't ready to pop, and now it's more red.
So wait, so you went to try to pop a zit in the middle of work.
To answer your question, yes, Kyle.
Are you offended by that?
No, I hate when people pop zits. Like, just let the natural course happen. You don't need to pop zits.
I love popping zits.
You can't just let it keep bubbling up.
If you pop zits, it leaves scars on you.
Yeah.
I got a beautiful face. I pop a lot of zits.
Yeah, I don't pop any zits. I can't.
And you got an ugly ass.
That's almost cuss, because that's a lie. That's a dang lie. I have my face. One thing about my face, no zits, man. The skin is naturally great. I love it.
You've never had problem with zits? Even as a teenager?
I mean, obviously I've had like a couple zits, but no big
must
issue.
Be nice.
Diana chimes in from Iguanago. Kyle, you're my boy, but please don't talk about Milwaukee Bucks that way. Don't give them any bad juju.
Oh, I think it's all good juju.
Yeah?
No,
yeah?
I'm
KBN
hopeful.
Academy time. I don't buy this fraud.
Very hopeful.
In radio, our goal's pretty simple.
Just so you know, you really suck.
Have an A show or an F show.
Hey, I'll decide who sucks around here.
The same goes for topics in this next segment. This is the KBN Academy.
Those that can't do, teach.
We do teach here at the KBN Academy. Professor Walls, Professor Nortman, and Professor Brust here to answer questions that Chris Larson has come up with. We're only allowed to give an A or an F. There's no B's, C's, or D's, or anything else in between. Chris Larson, what's on the docket?
All right, let's start off with Aaron Jones and the Packers, Aaron Jones ran for over 100 yards in his 5th straight game and set a new Packers franchise record in the loss to the 49ers. Jones is under contract to return to the Packers at a cap number of a little over $17 million in 2024. His deal voids after the 2024 season. A or F, Jones will be back with the Packers next season.
This is an A for me, but I think they're going to try to restructure him. I don't think he's going to be on this team with the $17 million cap hit. Look, we've seen all the benefits he brings, not only the offense, but the locker room. I mean, he's just a dude. He's a guy that you love to have on the roster. I'd be shocked if he's not on the roster team for one more year. I see one more year. After that, I don't see it.
One more year. One more year. Yo, you got to keep him, man. You saw exactly what he did to end this season. You saw he was the heart and soul of this team. He was the catalyst for this football team and a leader. What did Jaden Reed say, Ben, about having him on the field, what do you want to do?
I love blocking for you.
I love blocking for you. When a young man feels that way about somebody, that means he looks up to him. You got to keep him around for another year. Draft a running back, but keep him around for another year because he could be part of something special with us next year.
Wrong answers for defensive coordinator is now my zits from somebody on YouTube. Here's what I'll say. And actually, I won't be saying much to somebody talk. It's on YouTube.
Ben will be wiping his jersey off, giving the Aaron Jones first down.
He won the heart and soul of every Packer fan. Like if you didn't watch Aaron Jones after my man's hamstring week 1 against the Bears, hamstring again affected him, sprained MCL. My man's gave it his all for this team. His all. And not only did he go through all that injuries, 5 straight 100-yard games. 5-time player of the year. 5-time player of the year. I was going to the Remember the Titans reference there. Yost! I mean, Aaron Jones has to be back. You have to find a way to bring him back. Normally, in this scenario, I'm all about letting guys go before it's too late. And the Packers are very much all about letting guys go before it's too late. But this year proved his resilience and how much he means to the franchise and the team. Man, this goes against everything I stand for in terms of bringing back a mascot because there is...
He ain't no mascot.
But there is a potential at his age that he continues to re-injure.
You draft somebody, you take some...
That's a lot of money to leverage at that position.
Here's the thing. You saw how effective he was at the end of the season.
If he's available, you can't count on that.
They got to restructure.
Hopefully, if you can restructure, fantastic, but I need
you can restructure...
Anyway. You take some carries off his back.
If you can't restructure him, you can't take a $17 million cap hit on a running back. You're crazy. You're outside your mind there. You're on the wrong side of history there. Everyone would tell you.
We need Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I get it. I'm with you. Just got to be at the right price. You can't just continue to have an
all
aging...
that money for Aaron Rodgers on your cap this year, but you ain't willing to do it for 1 year for Aaron Jones. If you win a Super Bowl, who cares?
Different. It's so different.
Wait, if you win a Super Bowl,
Brad,
who cares?
I'm going to turn my... This is all you. I mean, I ain't arguing him.
You can't have a 30-year-old running back swallowing up a $17 million cap.
If you win a Super Bowl, who cares?
This ain't 1990.
And honestly, you need to keep him healthy throughout the whole way. Him at $17 million takes away from your ability to have a guy. Yeah, but you need to be able to get that rookie.
Stop it.
You stop.
All right, moving on. When they're not losing in the NCAA tournament, Drexel University conducted a study that found that automatic checkouts could decrease customer loyalty, especially if the customer is buying 15 items or more. A or F, people who have more than a few items in self-checkout really grind your gears.
Yeah, this is an F to me. I don't understand what people's problem is if you've got a cart full of items and you go to self-checkout. I mean, there's like 6 self-checkouts. They don't hold up a sign that says this is the self-checkout for 15 or less. We all have a right to check out however we want, and there's no restriction on the self-checkout. I like self-checkout. I go there whether I have 5 items or whether I have 50 items. Give me self-checkout and don't judge me if I got a lot of items in my cart. We all have access to self-checkout.
Yeah, it's not about judging. I mean, you're just literally being disrespectful to the people around you.
Because self-checkout is for
everybody.
No, it's for 15 items or less.
They don't say that.
They don't say that, but you have to be a selfish jerk to do what you're doing.
No, wait.
No. You go.
We all have a right.
No, absolutely not. If you have a whole bunch of items in your cart, you need to go to somebody to actually check you out. Self-checkout is for those who can move expeditiously through that line. Boop, 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 boop. Good and go. You ain't got to sit there and do everything that you need. If you spending $300 in self-checkout, you are in the wrong spot.
And you know Brad Nerdman's looking at every price of everything, weighing every item, keeping the line backed up.
Getting the, buy 5, get 1.
The only thing I learned from this, I'm not answering A or F. I just know that Brad is an F in the grocery store.
No,
really?
No.
Clearly.
I like a good deal, so
I'm
I can't...
a tactician in the grocery store.
Ooh.
Tactician. I go in there.
Are you a paper list or a phone list?
Oh, you have a phone list, but you know I am checking it off as I get it. Very rarely do I go outside of the list. And I go in there, it's like a Navy SEAL, right?
Live a little, man.
I'm working through
Give me an impulse
aisles.
purchase.
I'm walking through
Give me some ice cream.
I'm getting that.
I spent $50 yesterday when I went in for salad, so that was gonna cost $50.
That's relatable.
So I mean, that's the whole thing. But I'm trying to. Have you ever gone grocery shopping for Lexi and you've been looking for stuff on the list? Like, God dang, I can't find nothing on this list.
Yeah,
that's the most frustrating thing.
Then comes a FaceTime to Lexi.
Yeah.
I mean, like my wife. I'm able to be like, baby, where is this thing? You're telling me you want tahini. I don't know where tahini is.
I feel you on that one.
I'll tell you what, all I bring home for my girlfriend who's almost ready to like pop. Ice cream. I'm the best person in the world when I bring home ice cream.
And then you forget everything else?
Well, I get myself ice cream as well. No, I get everything, and I'm like, if I go anywhere, it's like, what do they have? If it's custard, is it a smoothie? Is it this? Is it a shake? Is it that? Pro tip, ready? You guys are gonna love this one. If you ever go on a work dinner that is being expensed, I shouldn't say this. Always get dessert to go for your significant other, because you come home. You come home.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Your submitted receipts are going to be combed over now.
I should have put that on air. I don't do that. Someone told me I should maybe do that.
That is a awful idea. That is terrible. That is
no. You can say it's a great idea. It's not a fiscally responsible idea.
No, it's a terrible idea.
It's a great idea because we always come home. They're always like, oh, working late, like kind of annoyed. But if you bring back whatever their favorite creme brulee, ice cream, not ice cream, but like a cheesecake, always happy.
It is a romantic idea, but why stop there? Get a bottle of wine to go. Everything. Like, I'll take one of those and two of those.
You do realize that you can say, I want to put all this on a card and also to go on this card. I want to get this. The company doesn't. The company's not supposed to do that. You
sounds like a manager right now, Kyle.
You might get Good Karma Brands audited by the tax revenue services.
What? Kyle's the manager on the show.
You are such a dumb. What? Audited by... You are allowed as a business to expense whatever you want.
No, you can't expense. That's not a business expense. You bringing something home to your significant other who wasn't on the business thing, and you're bringing it home for them. That is not a business expense. That is a personal expense being traded off as a business expense. You're going to get us in trouble.
You could always argue that you were hungry, wanted a dessert, changed your mind, you're going to take it to go.
Unfortunately, I'm now on air forever with my stance.
It's dangerous.
Y'all better check him out.
Gosh, I'm so glad I'm not managed by the Grinch over here.
Yeah, Kyle, you're a tough manager.
That's fine. I'll talk to Craig on Sunday, see what he thinks.
You call us out. You don't even manage us.
How's that P&L over at 1017 The Truth?
P&L? What is that?
Oh, come on.
What is that called?
Oh my gosh, he's a manager of a station?
Profit loss statement?
We don't. My team doesn't expense anything. They come to work in the studio. They don't go to business trips. They work here.
You just got demoted, man. You shouldn't put that on air.
P&L, I don't even know what that is.
Good profit for homeowners is investing in windows.
Oh, yes, it is. And I'm telling you this right now. You need to invest in my friends over there with Universal Windows Direct. If you've been cold in your home, do not suffer through one more cold winter in this cold or drafty home that you have. Call my guys at Universal Windows. Universal Windows have this incredible technology developed by NASA called Super Spacer. It helps keep the edge of the glass warmer, holds the window seal longer, and makes the windows last up to 5 times longer than other window systems. Plus, Universal backs this all up with a true lifetime warranty for as long as you own your home and 30 years to the next homeowner. That's a great selling tip for if you sell your home. So call Universal Windows Direct today, and they'll upgrade your new window to a triple pane glass window for free. That's 3 layers of glass between you and the cold outside. Schedule your free in-home estimate today, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free, plus a free upgrade to triple pane window glass. And they'll double your energy tax credit. Tell them I told you to call and get an additional $250 off your next project. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to universalwindowsdirect.com. That is universalwindowsdirect.com. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Ben from the 920 chimes in. Just as I start my car, I hear how Ben is stealing from work. More of that with Homer next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Is steak appropriate for lunch? And then your thoughts on Jordan Love.
Oh, absolutely. Steak's appropriate, especially if you cut it up, put it on salad. Woo! Steak's good anytime.
It was all meat, baby. No salad for me today.
Yeah, you like that.
Presented by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Even when you think you know what's going on, you can never be too sure.
Are you in the clunker coming camp as well?
Yes. Could be 2.
Packers, nonsense, chaos.
The double clunkers.
Are we talking about boobs?
I like how if anything is mentioned in Bears, he goes to Boots.
You know?
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
The news of the day out of Green Bay, the Packers are indeed moving on from defensive coordinator Joe Barry as he is out as Matt LaFleur's defensive coordinator. Adam Schefter earlier today on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Only way in my mind that they would make a change would be if they found somebody that they believe was an upgrade over Joe Barry. If they had performed the way they had in the last part of the season, but if they had played at that type of level with those mistakes and poor play, yeah, he would have been out.
ESPN's Rob Demovsky, though, is reporting that Joe Barry could stay on the staff in some role.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Stay up to date on the green and gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Wisconsin is still cattle country. And that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Bunzels.com.
I'm Dr. Jasmine Zapata, Chief Medical Officer for Community Health at the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. Every year in the U.S., about 21,000 lung cancer deaths are caused by radon, an odorless, tasteless, and colorless gas. 1 in 10 Wisconsin homes has high levels of radon. Does yours? Call 1-888-LOW-RADON or visit lowradon.org to learn more. Test, fix, save a life.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace for the Bath Authority. If your bath or shower is old, outdated, has mold and mildew, or broken tiles, you gotta call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. Elevate your bathroom to a new level of luxury, style, and safety. Schedule your free in-home estimate today and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
The Milwaukee Panthers men's basketball team is stacking good days. Join in all the action as the Panthers host 2 games at Panther Arena this week. First up, Milwaukee takes on Detroit Mercy on Thursday at 7. Then the Panthers hit the court against Oakland on Saturday at 3. Enjoy t-shirt giveaways at both games courtesy of Gruber Law Offices. Tickets start at $13. On sale now, try a Pounce's 4-pack mini plan for $80, which includes the biggest opponents on the best 8s. Order today at mkepanthers.com. Panther Athletics for the MKE.
If you see something, why do you say something?
I see safe for my friends.
For my community.
For everyone here. We all have something worth protecting, a why that unifies us. Report suspicious activity to local authorities. If you see something, say something.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Forward Healthy Lifestyles in Germantown is a fantastic place for you to get the energy you need with their great options for you. I got the blood work done, and it's been amazing. Testosterone, it's a huge factor in our lives, and it's okay to know that you might need a little bit of a boost, because you don't have to be stuck in having less energy, less endurance, more aches and pains, and less sex. You can reach your goals at Forward Healthy Lifestyles in Germantown. I just scheduled my optimization, get the blood work done, see all the results, and I'm going to need the energy, I'll tell you. Kid on the way, just bought a house. It's happening. Can't get by it. ForwardHealthyLifestyles.com. Check out Lindsay's team. Tell them ESPN sent you. ForwardHealthyLifestyles.com. Joining us now, Dr. Duke's biggest fan, Homer, of the Homer Hour from 5 to 6. Homer, I feel really good. You know why?
Why, Dad? Why do you feel so good?
Well, I feel good because yesterday we spent some time after your show. Rob Demovsky called in and literally said what we had said. It is malpractice that they did not bring in competition for Anders Carlson.
Well, they made one fundamental decision. They made one mistake. They considered extra points as different than field goals. Why? Don't ask me. Because they're a certain distance. Doesn't matter if it's an extra point. Doesn't matter if a field goal. If your guy can't make that kick every time, then you got a problem. If he had missed all those as field goals instead of extra points, he never would have kicked in that game. But you have to ask them. Why is an extra point different than a field goal? It's a certain distance.
Yeah, I mean, maybe aesthetically it's like, oh, it's not as bad because it's only 1 point, but your point's well taken.
No, it didn't. It did not cost them enough. If it had cost them, it's just like.
But they should know that him missing those could cost them because it's showing how bad of a kicker he's been.
I think it'll go down if you check as historically one of the worst seasons ever relative to what other kickers were doing. But someone can look that up. It's just like the Bucks. Bucks did not change coaches based on winning. They changed coaches based on how comfortable they would be losing. They were not comfortable, specifically, I believe the owner, Wes Edens, losing with that coach. They are much more comfortable losing with Doc Rivers. They don't want to lose, but this is not – that's what this is about.
Yeah, another PR move. I kind of like where you're going with that because when you think about it, right, if you have a superstar in Giannis, trade for a superstar in Dame, and you lose in the NBA playoffs with a first-year head coach and look bad doing it, you look like a crap organization.
Well, and somebody could check the dates. Like, they could have hired Doc Rivers before, right? I think he got fired in May.
Yeah, he was 100% available.
They were done,
okay, why wasn't he? He didn't even make the finals, right? There were 3 finalists. He didn't even make the finals.
Yeah, he didn't make the. I don't think he even made the.
I think he's talking about the finals of the interviews.
There were 3 people left.
Did they interview Doc Rivers?
I think this is, and there's no way I can defend this position. It's reckless to some, but Wes Edens was uncomfortable with Adrian Griffin as head coach for a number of reasons, and said, "I can't lose with this guy. I can't." So let's find somebody I'm more comfortable losing with.
I don't like. I know you said we're not going to. That's not the mentality, but I don't like the comfortable with losing with. I think
it's embarrassing to lose with Giannis and Dame in an ugly fashion.
You're not comfortable with losing. You don't want to lose. They're hiring him to win. The guy, you know who has the best winning percentage ever in the history of the Milwaukee Bucks?
Bud?
No, it's Adrian Griffin.
This guy.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't like. What do you mean? They're not defending. Yeah, but they're outscoring everybody. The NBA's changed. I don't. What don't you like? They're giving up more points. Where you got rid of your great defensive players.
Regular season is way different. You know that.
Whatever it is. What do you mean it's way different?
It's 100% different. It's a bad side when Detroit is coming in and scoring 130 plus.
Yes, it's a bad sign. Does the coach get fired?
Yes, if you don't think that is good enough to win you a championship.
Give me a break.
I mean,
coach doesn't get fired.
I mean,
for that.
Homer, 130 points after 130
in the
points.
East. What?
This defense was going to end up being their failure. It was going to backfire, just like the Packers.
Right.
Just like
and
the Packers allowed the kicker to.
It could end up being It's going to be if it's going to be a failure with him. It'll probably be a failure with Doc Rivers. But they can live with everybody. Like, well, they did the best they could. They brought in Doc Rivers.
Can't you trace this? Can't you trace this back to the Damian Lillard trade, though? Because Adrian Griffin was hired before this seismic change in the Bucks and losing Holiday.
Whatever, you would change your expectations of the team after you get rid of him, right? You would assume you're not going to defend as well, you're going to score better, right? And what has happened? They haven't defended as well, and they've scored better, right? That's what you would have expected with any coach, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
So, real quick, Homer. Joe Barry.
Yes.
Are you excited about this Joe Barry move, and do you know what's next? What do you think? What do you want for the next defensive coordinator for the Packers?
I mean, Leonard is the obvious choice.
Oh, wow. So Leonard's the guy.
Well, no, I mean, he's an obvious choice. Like the premise that, well, he turned you down the first time, you wouldn't do him again. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Okay, you people always use these, relationships. But you ask some girl to marry her, and she says no. You're not going to ask her again? Oh, sorry, you turned me down once. I mean, I don't.
Would you?
And then
a lot of things have changed since last.
You could become more mature. You could understand that the opportunity's right now.
Man, bumps that broad. Heck no.
If she turned down, is she going to turn you down again? I mean, I don't. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I think the Packers.
I like the older guys. You can't do Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan wants to be the boss. It doesn't fit.
Homer. before we let you go, because your Homer Hour is coming up in about 50 seconds here.
With Jason Wilde.
I have your $100. Hang on. I have your $100.
I'm not doing that crap.
What?
No.
Why can't I take it to Pato and...
Because I need the $100 to pay off the guy who predicted that Griffin would get fired at the beginning of the season.
I don't want my money going to somebody else for a stupid bet that you made.
Hey, you already spent your money.
Come on. You don't want your money, buddy. It ain't your money anymore. It's my money.
All right.
Nice try, though.
Special appearance from Tony Smith, Jason Wilde. Rayman?
Rayman will fit in, but Tony's next because I want to know what he thinks about the change of coach.
Marquette Hall of Famer, Tony Smith, Homer, 5 to 6. Don't go anywhere. They're here in 2 minutes. Damn you.
Seeing a lot of delays across the system. You're going to see a couple minutes delay